Hello.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Week 2.
Well, more like week 2 after a month.
Only a single week has
Week 2.
transpired.
Month 2.
1 month.
Definitely
later.
only been 1 week. Question nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me
We
explain
didn't
that.
fall off the face of the earth.
I'll explain it. It's fine. So what happened is, the next week, we got down to record, and we were all set and ready, and we were doing, like, we had news, we had notepad documents, we were set to go.
Very set.
And
Couldn't be more set.
and then none of the mics worked. And then the mics directly into my laptop didn't work. And then the mics into Richie's PC worked, but not the mixer, so that would be one mic, and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, 2 weeks of depression, and then me finally figuring stuff out later. It was the mixer because the mics needed power, and now I got something that'll work,
And we don't know how they worked the first time.
it was
No,
literally a miracle.
Actual sorcery.
Yes.
Active,
Yeah.
whatever the hell you believe in.
Yeah.
Cthulhu.
There you go.
My dark-
Minecraftian or God.
My
whatever.
Dark Lord Satan. Thank you.
So that was a month truncated for the podcast. Now a month truncated for just me. 2 weeks of depression, and then video games came out that I like, and now I'm not depressed anymore. And
That's good.
yeah, that's how it
Yeah.
works, right?
Yeah. That's how depression works.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
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 The video games come out
Damn.
you like, and then you're out.
No, you know what? I'll be honest. Like, I don't want to get into like kind of my psychological shit too much, but there was one day, I'm a wreck. And versus for other things, it's not just because podcast didn't work. That was definitely like the start of darkness. But
But it was the
Start
Dark,
of
dark,
You're right.
Song name?
Episode 2, the end.
That's
of
definitely a
darkness.
song name somewhere.
and then I
And
like,
that is the title of this podcast.
and then I just like woke up Friday and I just felt fine, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm over it. Like, there's no rhyme or reason, but anyway,
That's chemicals in the brain,
that's
dog.
chemicals in the
Gotta love
brain, dog.
Chemicals in the brain, dog.
So anyway, I've been playing a lot
Brain
of
dog.
Tarkov.
Brain dog?
Brain dog.
I'm brain dog.
I finally breached 1 million Russian bucks in Tarkov.
Nice.
Hey.
Fuck yeah.
I'm becoming a loot
We're
lord,
doing it.
slowly but surely, like my god and savior.
We should play that more.
Aqua, aka Discount Jake Gyllenhaal.
We got
The
battle
loot
pass.
goblin.
We got battle passes to level.
I know, that's the problem, is my battle.
That your weeks are coming up. Shut up.
He's not wrong.
And then I stopped playing that, not because I wanted to, but because Daemon X Machnina came out on PC instead
That
of the
game
Switch.
looks cool, man.
So I no longer need to buy a Switch.
Yeah, not to hijack your week, but I'm just commenting on your week. So,
No, it's
It's
fine. Go
fine.
ahead. Go ahead.
but like I saw you playing that, and I'd heard of it. Like I knew that the game existed, and
Mhm.
I'd seen trailers for it and shit, but I didn't really know like exactly what it was. So I went on the Steam store page, and I was like, just from the screenshots, like I didn't watch the trailers. I was like, oh, he's playing this because it looks like Weeb, like Armored Core.
It is Armored Core.
Weeb Armored Core.
The new studio that made this game
Yeah.
is all X from Software devs.
Oh, okay, so that explains it.
Guess
Well,
what those guys worked on.
Right. I saw that, and I was like, oh shit, I might get this at some point.
You
'Cause
should.
It's just PC Armored
You should.
Core.
Okay, so here's the warning.
Weeb PC Armored Core. but-
The entire first leg of the game is nightmarish trash, and it's not because of the gameplay.
Weeb Nightmare is trash? would you say?
Yes,
Nice.
yes. Because all it is there is a diverse cast of anime stereotypes out of every fucking anime that has ever existed.
Cat girls?
No, unfortunately,
No
no.
cat girls. Zero.
There is a
cat.
Hard
there
yikes.
is there
Is
is
there
a
cyborg girl?
yes.
Cyborg
there we
ninjas?
go.
There's multiple cyborg girls.
There we go.
Some may be considered ninjas.
Cyborg Ninja Girl?
I guess maybe. Anyway,
If you
so
hear a thought, that's just Brendan's boner.
so here's the
I'll
thing
buy
though.
this game immediately.
A lot of them
Is it Revengeance 2?
are okay. A lot of them are fine.
Okay.
It's the 10% that they're not merely not fine. They're like anime kryptonite to me, where it's the characterization of it's like, I am perky girl who likes to destroy kill and look up to my senpai, who he's a cool character. I like Savior a lot.
You like the senpai, but
Everyone who hangs around him is a
Is weeb
chode I want to see
Weeb harem trash.
explode. There's also there is a group of people who are just criminals, and like 3 of them are cool. The rest are just like one guy's constantly talking about games. The other is please notice me, big brother. And then there's man who always yells. There is a black character
Love
in this
that one.
game
Barrett?
who is no, okay, let me rephrase this. There's a lot of black characters in this game that are really cool.
Okay.
There is one guy who has to be explained what culture is.
Okay.
Okay.
He's that dumb, like it's ridiculous. And then his mech is pink, and he listens to rockabilly stuff, even though they characterize him as a rapper.
Interesting.
It's a
Okay.
bad character.
Sounds like a bit of a
Yeah, it
cluster.
sounds like
Bad
a really bad character.
So and that's the thing. So like it's literally every single mission for like the first quarter of the game is you are going on dumb mission to kill dumb things. Let us introduce to you these quirky characters, and you get to go, that guy's cool. Oh god, these other 2. And it's that for like 20 missions.
So here's my question, I guess, because I assume you're not done with it yet, right?
No, I'm done.
Oh, you are? You're done with it?
No. I thought you meant my discussion.
No. I meant
But
like,
the
I meant
game,
like with the game.
game-wise, I just started rank B missions.
Oh, he's got more to go.
The highest is EX, I think, and I don't know if that's after S or if that's after A, so I'm close.
Okay, so I was just curious. Is this the kind of game where you're playing it for the Armored Core and not the story?
No, okay,
Like, is
so
the story utter garbage?
No,
or you're just
here's
playing
the
it for
thing.
Armored
I
Core?
like the story. I
Okay.
hate the characters.
Okay, but the story is
This-
decent.
Once you get into rank C and the plot kicks on, the game becomes good. But until then, you're just being introduced to characters, and even like when you're playing a video game and a cool character comes on screen, you're like, that guy's cool. It's
Right.
not a pop-off moment. It's not a thing you're hype about. You're just like, that's a cool thing. So when that's also weighed down with, that guy's cool, oh god, I hate these other 2 people for 10 to 20 missions, it's rough. If you can get past that, the game is excellent.
Reviews for games, by the way.
Well, okay,
It's
look.
part of his week. He's been playing.
How was your
it.
week? Let me review this whole game.
I
I was just sitting here letting it play out.
You think when it gets to us, I'm not going to talk some shit about Season 4 of Apex? And I'm not going to
Yeah,
fucking discuss
but I'm not
what's
gonna
going on with the
uh,
Battle Pass?
Here's why I have to review it. I am an Armored Core fucking slave boy.
This is why I'm
It is
tell-
specifically my crack.
A, he's an Armored Core slave boy. B, this is why I'm telling you that an hour's not going to work out for this fucking podcast.
Okay.
It's just not going to work
And
out.
and honestly, that was my week.
It's
Is
not gonna
I
work
went
out.
to work, I fixed this, and then
I need to stand
played
real quick.
a lot of
Don't
Daemon
spill
X.
my water.
And that's me, Richard. If you want to go,
Yeah, my week was a lot less.
month.
Sorry, month
month.
was a lot less involved as yours. I don't got a review.
I played 2 video
I don't,
games.
yeah, I played one.
I like how none of us, I like how none of us reset our names, by the way. Just in case someone's clicking on this. But
Well, I
not
just
the
started
first
with me.
podcast.
I'm assuming someone will say my name at one point, and I introduced Richard.
That's Anthony.
Yay.
Pointing for audio.
But,
That's
Here's
Anthony.
the audio point. Anthony, put it like a finger pointing towards
Yeah.
you.
The man who's about to talk about Apex and only Apex is Richie.
Yeah, because it's all I do. I play one game at a time.
It's very much.
It's
a thing with
depressing,
him.
but
It's not depressing.
that's
You're
how
the one who makes your own depression.
but that's how I
That's
roll.
true, you do kind of make your own impression. You play other games.
Eh.
Precisely my point.
Yeah, but oh god, but
Oh god.
Oh no.
No.
Show me your moves.
yeah, but no, just Apex Season 4. It's good. I suck at it, and Brandon needs to carry me.
That's not
But
true. You had that
I
one
had
game.
my one game that I will probably. It's the best I'll ever do.
2.4 thousand
Yeah,
damage. I
with
think.
8 kills, it's the best I will ever do.
That's
I'll
pretty
never
good.
hit that 20 kill badge.
Oh, don't worry, because I probably won't either. You need the stars to align for that
The-
shit. You also need to play hyper aggressive, which we don't always do. As much as I would like to, because I play that game in much the same way I used to spend my time playing Futnut, which is just looking for blood. I don't like looting for 20 minutes and then taking one fight and being like, yeah, we won. I'm like, I hear peepees in that direction, and then I want to go find the peepees. But we don't always do that, which is unfortunate. But we should.
Yeah,
Anyway, continue.
that's it. It's just a month of Apex.
You,
it
you
been- has it
haven't
been-
watched it?
It's
No,
been
it's
about
only
a
been like
fucking
3
month.
weeks. It's been 3 weeks.
That's pretty close to a month. It's getting
Yeah.
there.
The Super Bowl happened.
That's true. None of us are
Yeah.
talking about that shit.
Yeah,
even
no
though
one
I
watched the
watched it.
Super Bowl here.
No, I watched it.
Because no one who listens to this is probably gonna give a
Yeah.
fuck.
You don't know.
And it was
You're
only
not
it was
football
only
people.
good for like the last quarter.
We started
But
this as a video game
It was
podcast.
better than last year's.
We wound
Yeah.
up being a sports podcast.
Right.
Much better than last year's fucking Super Bowl.
We started this as a video game podcast. This is the section that's going to pop off, and we're going to be talking about football for the rest of
Football
the
and Kobe. is
Yeah.
all we're
God.
talking about. No, that's not dark.
I got
Rip Kobe.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what's great?
I'll make Kobe jokes for the rest of my life in your name.
If you make the shot or you miss the shot, it's still Kobe.
Wow.
Yeah. Kobe.
Damn, I got one darker than that, but I don't think I'm not
No.
gonna say
No.
I've got ones darker than that too.
Yeah,
mad
I'm not
respect.
saying
Anyway,
Mad- mad
Brenda, I
respect
believe
for
you were
Kobe.
to talk now.
it. But
Absolutely.
wow.
What he did say was.
Yeah, you did
Are
say
you
you were
done?
done.
Double check.
Continue.
Yeah, I'm done.
No, continue. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm done. I got
What the
nothing.
fuck were
Don't
you
you
gonna say?
wow
I got
me.
nothing.
My close to a month has been relatively similar. I've been playing a lot of Apex. Played Tarkov for like 2 weeks.
We played it together a little bit.
We did. We should keep doing that.
Yes.
I would like to play more
Richie,
Tarkov.
you
I'm
should get
just-
Tarkov.
You should get
It's
Tarkov.
basically
All right,
It's
two-
Apex
two
but more Russian.
two things on that. One, I can't just spend the money right now. Maybe we'll
I'll
see.
spend the money for you,
But-
baby.
I mean, his birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
that's true.
He's gonna suck your dick.
Both
and give
our
you some
birthdays.
Tarkov.
I'm not soliciting for Tarkov for my birthday.
It looks
but,
like the,
But you gonna
looks like
get
the
it.
bros are getting the Tarkov.
But also, Brandon sent me a
Force you.
video, and I was watching Tarkov, and it looked good.
Sean tried
It
to
looked.
Get me to force play
The
something.
thing I didn't like about it is the
Work
dude
out.
literally had the crosshairs on people, and the bullets weren't hitting.
That can be,
Like that seems frustrating.
there are multiple things about Tarkov Tarkov has a learning curve. There's a learning curve associated with Tarkov. Shooting guns in Tarkov is not like shooting guns in something like Apex or something like that, or any other like typical fucking first-person shooter. It also has It also has bugs associated with shooting
Yes.
guns, such as the FOV bug, which I came to learn about,
Yes.
which is a huge problem. Where if you play at anything over like default FOV, there's a chance sometimes that your cursor is not actually where it appears to be, and the
Oh,
bullets
nice.
will not fire where you believe yourself to be pointing your gun, which is a huge problem. And so there's some people who are like, don't fuck with your FOV, man. Just keep it like close to default or default.
Which
because
sucks
that
because
shit
the
sucks.
default is very small.
Default's not great, but I am used to playing on smaller FOVs because with Apex, I keep it at like, not default, but not max either, because I can't stand when my view gets stretched and people who are far away are like, I'm like pixel hunting, like I'm fucking playing Arma. So it's not that weird to me. But I think you would like Tarkov, looking at Richie as I say that, because it's like Arma. It's similar in pace to like a milsim. It's not like Apex where people are like jumping all over you and you're not
Yeah.
playing like an arena shooter.
I mean, I
You're
liked
playing
Arma.
like a
I'm just
fucking-
saying. I saw the way bullets were not hitting people, and that like
Well,
looked very frustrating.
Okay, well here's
You also
the
didn't
thing.
just see
It
bullets
may
not.
not be hitting people. Armor in that game is for real.
Yeah, armor is a bit weird because you can become the Terminator with certain kinds of armor, which is probably also what you were seeing. I sent him the first Aqua video
Oh, okay.
before Aqua started liking it, and he was like, "This game sucks," and he's just shooting people and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
I sent him that video, so that's what he saw. But Tarkov's cool. God, what else have I been doing?
You were talking to me about Divinity in the car ride.
Yeah, Divinity's dope too. I don't have a lot to say about it other than that it's good. I think
Original Sin 2.
I think the shit I'd rather get into is like I've been rewatching Game of Thrones for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, that's why.
In preparation for our
Not that I
podcast episode.
like why, but
A,
it is a question.
A, strange reaction. B, because I wanted to. And,
Okay.
and C, because I'm watching it with someone else who hasn't seen it. So I was like, oh, this is a good
Yep.
time for me to watch it myself again.
Like right from the beginning.
Yes. And
Enjoy the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah,
Have you gotten to the point where you just noticed that the quality has changed?
I'm only about halfway through season 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But-
you're
but-
not near that yet.
But rewatching it again, it is like a reminder of like how good that show
Oh,
was
yeah.
at the
Oh,
start.
yeah.
Where it's like these first 2 seasons are fucking gold, man. And it's like depressing watching it and being like,
I know how this ends.
I know where this is going, man. I know where it's going.
I am inevitable.
I've already warned. I don't give a fuck. I'm watching it with my mom because I watch TV with my mom.
I thought your mom watched it.
No, she did not. But she expressed an interest in seeing it, so I was like, yo, wait for me. I'll rewatch that shit with you. So I'm rewatching it with her,
Mhm.
and
Whenever you finish is when we'll have the Game of Thrones
yeah,
podcast.
yeah, that would be the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
So it'll be fresh in my fucking brain.
And all of us would just be like, that happened?
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
forget.
Oh!
I've never forgotten Game of Thrones
There's so much
and the debacle.
good shit in those first 2 seasons.
The freer seven over God.
As well as like really interesting stuff that you watch and you're like, you just forget about it, and it's really weird because I don't even really want to get that deep into it, but it's like the writing's not on point with season 8, but there's a lot of like
Minutia.
it's just strange. Like season 8 ends in such a way that it's like I just kind of watched 8 seasons of like history repeats itself as a theme. Even with the shit ending that season 8 has, it's like everything just kind of winds up the way it was at the start, with the exception of like the way the Iron Throne goes by the end of the show.
We gotta break the cycle, but not these other cycles.
Yeah, but not these ones.
The cycle is broken, just weirdly.
But anyway, it's an interesting experience rewatching that. But Apex has been taking up most of my time, and that's an interesting thing to talk about.
I don't even know what changes have happened to it, because I got into
Apex?
it like ground floor.
Well, it's like what, a new map?
Yeah, there's been a new map.
Like I've stopped playing
Few new-
ever since
few new guns.
Poison Man.
Wait,
Why that, man?
The guy who
Caustic.
has all like Caustic. I don't know his name.
Caustic was.
Cause
I don't play
Yeah,
Apex.
he was there at launch.
Okay, well then who's the next one?
Octane. Was the
Octane,
first
yeah.
new hero that they released.
And then
Yeah, I didn't play. I never.
Watson, Crypto, and then
Yeah,
Revenue.
The reason I feel like Caustic was added is because none of us unlocked it immediately. So.
Dude,
was
Caustic. I
the
got
first.
Caustic first.
Caustic
yeah.
was the first one I got too.
But that's what I mean is that we were unlocking Caustic.
And he
then I
sucked
stopped
back
playing.
then too.
Yeah, kind of. He hasn't seen that many buffs, but he has seen buffs.
So like, what is all changed? New characters or
New map.
map.
The new map's been there since season 3, but they changed it for season 4. So there's like new stuff on it, and they've fucked with certain areas to like mix them up. Like there's like the new map is really cool because you obviously haven't played it. There's a lot of like cool like urban areas in it that are very reminiscent of like Titanfall maps. Like there's an area that's like very urban, and it got split in half by like a chasm, but it's all just like buildings and shit. So it's very like Angel City-ish.
that sounds cool.
Like Titanfall 2. It's very sick. Stuff like that. New Legend, Revenant, new gun, Sentinel. Honestly, not as much new shit as I was anticipating for like a brand new season. But there's a decent amount of stuff. I think, and I'm playing it a lot, as are you, obviously. I'm pointing at Richie as I say that.
Once again, put a finger.
Yeah,
But
I can do this stuff now.
it's good. I just wish there was a little bit more, and I also think some of the new shit's kind of weak, in my opinion.
What do you mean, like new? Like the Sentinel?
Yeah, and
And
Revenant.
Revenant?
I think like balance wise,
I think that I like the Sentinel. I think the problem is that like to get the full power, you need to use a shield bat. That's rough. I'd rather just have the shield bat.
I've put a lot of thought into the Sentinel.
It's a gun, shield battery, done.
Like
This isn't gonna take me that long. Don't worry. You'll be back in the USA soon enough. And back in English Town.
Yeah, they're over there with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
We're here.
But very quickly, I think the Sentinel is a very weird gun because number wise, you shoot someone, it does 68 damage, and I don't know why I wouldn't just be using like a longbow.
Yeah.
It shoots
That's
faster. It does mildly less damage, but if I can land shots consistently, it's gonna do way
you
more.
get
than
more
the Sentinel.
attachments
Get
on
those
the longbow.
deeps.
You
Get
get
those
more
deeps.
attachments on the longbow as well.
You get
It
more
makes it
attachments on the
easier
longbow.
to use. I think you get a barrel stabilizer on that shit too.
Sorry, not to interrupt her. If you do get Daemon X, I have to explain a mechanic thing in the game that is just retarded and fix it for you. But until you get it, don't worry about it.
I mean, it's not gonna be for a while. Probably not until
Right.
it like goes on sale at some point.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think the Sentinel's kind of weak, and I think they fucked Revenant up a little bit in some regards. Like, I don't understand why Revenant has low profile. I don't get it. His hitbox isn't that weird. Like, why does he need... For the two people at the table that don't know what I'm talking about, Revenant has a... This would be very new to you, even though you've played, because it wasn't there at the time. So you know how Legends have, like, different hitboxes?
Yeah.
Some of them are smaller than others, some of them are bigger.
Right.
They've since given, like, damage resistance or damage buffs to certain Legends. So if you're playing Wraith, for instance, you take 5% more damage from all sources than anybody else because you're harder to hit. And like Lifeline has this, Pathfinder has it. Who else has it? Help me.
Pathfinder's the
Revenant.
robot.
Revenant. Watson has it.
Yeah, Watson.
Watson has it.
Not
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
He's very cheery. I actually really like. I love.
But then, yeah, like you
Pathfinder's
said, some
characterization.
people get fortified, which is damage resistance, and that's
Which is
Gibraltar
huge because
and Caustic.
Gibraltar get a 15% damage reduction as opposed
Wow,
to
that's
5%.
20%
It's nice.
damage
It's-
difference between the two characters.
Yeah,
It's
it's
massive.
strong.
Which is why some people are actually saying that Gibraltar's like
Yeah,
meta
because he
and
gets
OP
the
now.
shield too, so he gets a lot of damage
Which I
resistance.
never thought I'd see the fucking day that people would be like, Gibraltar's OP, but apparently we're there. But anyway, so that's the thing. And Revenant has it, and I can't for the life of me understand why, because he's not nearly as mobile as Pathfinder is. even though they have like a very similar hitbox, nowhere near as mobile. And yet for some reason they feel like Revenant. I don't have trouble hitting a Revenant when I'm playing as Revenant. Like, he's pretty large, and I don't see why he takes 5% more damage than everybody else. This seems fucking nonsensical to me.
Lore.
It's just stupid.
I'll agree, but
I'll assume
Revenant
a guy
is
named
good.
Revenant has reasons to be
like
taking more
the crouch
damage.
move is cool,
Oh no, he's a robot.
and
No,
I
that's
think his ability
Pathfinder's the robot.
his
We gotta-
ability
we gotta-
is
we gotta-
very
yeah, we
strong.
gotta be careful of having multiple conversations at once. That's
No,
gonna
it's
sound like
fine.
trash.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, like I said, the crouch walk is cool, and his ability is, I think, very strong. Because a lot of people play Wraith.
I think his passive is very.
And a lot of people play Pathfinder
But
too.
here's why
recently,
people play.
So.
Here's why people play Wraith. Other than the fact that she's the edgy phase space ninja, a lot of people play Wraith because mechanically, her and Pathfinder, and to my knowledge nowadays Gibraltar, but for completely different reasons, her and Pathfinder are like the meta heroes. You know why?
Mobility.
Fucking mobility.
And he
Because
shuts that
because
down.
Pathfinder
So
moves,
he's got to play.
because Pathfinder moves faster than Octane. There's something wrong
Yeah.
with that, by the way. But that's what he does. So like that's why those heroes are meta. So why does Revenant?
The dude juices himself up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So why does Revenant take 5% more damage when he has no mobility ability? He just has a silence, he has like a very average hitbox, and he has a fucking death totem ult, which is 50 shades of okay. And in fact, in some situations, can get you killed if you
Yeah.
use it incorrectly. Because he has this thing, it's his ult, death totem, he puts it up, and then you or people on your team use it, right? Then you go into this mode called like death protection,
Uh-huh.
and when people shoot you, you just take straight health damage. It just bypasses your shields, but when you go to 0, you don't die. You just go back to the totem.
Huh.
Which sounds cool in theory until you realize that if people are rushing your totem, it doesn't really help because you're going to go back to the totem. They know exactly where you're about to respawn, and you have no time to heal because they're just in your face.
Right.
So in some situations, you're literally just killing yourself
Nice.
by using it improperly.
I feel like that could be said on a lot of ults on a lot of games, though. If you use the thing wrong, you die.
Yeah, but not in Apex. A lot of people's ults are just decent, whether they're utility or they're like damage, they're just okay. And
Well-
Revenant's is like, it gets me killed
Hmm.
sometimes. So in my opinion, Revenant's like 50 Shades of okay. I think they gotta like either increase the range on it or like get rid of
Excuse
the
me.
range on it completely. And then he'll be better. But I think
Yeah,
Revenant's like
I
okay.
think Apex though suffers from
balance issues.
well, like you said with the ults, like there are ults that are just really good, and there are others that are like 50 Shades of okay.
Yeah, that's always been a problem.
Like
I think that'll be a problem in video
honestly,
games.
I think like
Till the end of time. Yeah,
oh,
but
Octane
like,
gets jump pad, and that could be used effectively, but like
But it's shit.
compared, it's compared to like a fucking Cryptos, where he just like EMPs
No,
the whole
don't-
team
like,
and
don't-
fucking takes 50 shields off.
you don't
like,
gotta sugarcoat it. Octane's trash.
Yeah.
Like I actually like Octane, but most people are of the opinion that like Octane's
I like
pretty
Octane too.
Octane's pretty garbage when you compare him to someone like Pathfinder, who literally does everything Octane does but better. Because like Zipline's just better than Jump Pad. Octane's health regen isn't that great to make much of a difference in that matchup, and Pathfinder's grapple literally covers as much ground as Octane's stim, horizontally speaking. Plus the vertical movement, and it's like, why pick Octane when you can just play Pathfinder? Like Apex has some fucking problems.
Always pick the robot. That's my motto.
It should be because he's meta and he's very strong. And Revenant sucks is the moral of the story. So that's about it. Apex Season 4 is fun.
I don't think he sucks.
Apex Season 4 is fun. I'm not. Maybe suck is a little harsh, but he's like undertuned. Something's got to happen to him, and chances are nothing will because Octane's been in the same state that he's been in since he released in Season 1. So they're probably not going to touch Revenant. But that's it. It's just more Apex with a new map, a new gun that's okay, and a new legend that I think is 50 Shades of average.
So joke's on you, Richie. We reviewed 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting
that's
here
pretty
like
much
on
been
my
my month.
phone, like,
Oh, and I've
let me
been-
set
and-
some dinner dates.
and I've
go out.
I've been working on some music shit, but I don't think anybody cares enough to listen to that. Plus, I already took up a fucking significant portion of time, so that's my month. Go
Alright.
forth.
My creative arts are nothing. Okay, next.
They would be if I had time to talk about them, but I don't. So go ahead.
Rabby.
So basically, in my solo time when I'm not playing with friends, I've been doing mostly Subnautica Below Zero, since it's experimental beta build stuff. Loving the game, absolutely terrifying. The ocean's a scary fucking place.
Yeah, that game horrifies me.
Yep.
You should play it.
I don't have it, but I don't
It's a
wanna
lot of
play it.
fucking fun.
I have a fear of the ocean, Rob.
It's do it.
No. That game looks like a horror game.
Do you also have a fear of the virtual ocean?
Yeah, it's pretty close to the real thing, Richie. If I'm in a sub and I'm down in the depths.
Oh,
As a child.
Oh, you think you're in a sub?
Well, there's the
you have
moment
to
where you're
earn
not.
that
Yeah,
shit.
I know. But
Okay, but here's the thing: when you're a guy, you're not around the super scary stuff.
No, it's there.
Well, it depends. Because
To get to the sub, if you want
I
a
have not
sub
played.
or a suit or anything, you gotta go near the really scary shit.
well, and then
I
there's
just burped
also
on the mic,
there's
I'm
also
sorry.
weird things in the game where it's like I know the first one. What was it called? Like the Ghost Wraith Leviathan,
The
whatever.
Ghost Leviathan.
The Ghost Leviathan.
that sounds spooky.
If you were in a sub, it just
Ghost
kind
and
of killed you. If you were a guy, you could murder it very easy.
That's not how that works.
Well,
And
he's telling you you're wrong.
stun rifle says otherwise.
Stasis rifle.
Whatever.
And they fixed that.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Stasis rifle still
It was
helps.
getting too meta.
Everyone was just like, let's start.
Is it
murdering
developed by Red Hook? What is happening?
But basically, what the stasis rifle was, it was futuristic tech. It would spin and you would shoot it, and if it hit the thing, put it in the stasis field. It couldn't move. Then people would just take the one weapon you have in a game, the knife,
And
and
stab it
just
to
stab
death.
it to death.
Revenge upon the oceans.
And just keep reminding themselves to keep winding up the stasis rifle because the stasis field leaves after a bit.
Right.
And just
And these things were so big that, like, so long as they missed you the first time with the stasis rifle, they would never turn around to ever hit you.
Yeah.
Whereas in
Seems balanced.
a sub, you had to
Well, clearly
just
they've
kind
changed
of
this, haven't
you had to kind of just outrun
the stasis
them.
rifle still works. It's just the only thing you can really kill with a knife that's big and can kill you is the first thing you find that can eat your ass. Which
they?
is
So
a
you can't do
Reaper
this
Leviathan.
anymore to the fucking.
Like to the Ghost Leviathan or the Sea Dragon, which are big things. No, you can stop them from fucking
Shit.
you though.
Sea Dragon. See, this is why I don't want to play this game. I don't want to run into some
The
shit
sea
like
dragon
that.
is actually, I don't think, nowhere nearly as scary because it's kind of like a dragon under the water.
Okay.
I find it very scary. It shoots lava rocks at you.
Right, but okay.
Alright, fuck with
You wanna know what game you would
I'll
hate?
stay out of the ocean.
You know what game you would hate? It's
Below
called
Zero is
it's
also
called
really
Stranded Deep.
I've seen that. That's
Yeah. It's like the island survival game.
Did you ever fight any of the bosses they had in that game, by the way?
What game?
What game?
Stranded Deep?
The bosses? No, because it's horrifying and I can't get past.
God,
like-
which game is Stranded Deep? Help me. Is that the one?
It's island survival.
Yeah. Is it the one where you make like a raft and you're like going around?
You
between
start in the
islands and
raft.
shit? Okay, yeah.
And then you-
I
and then you
think
hit
I
an
know what you're
island.
talking about,
It's horrifying because you got to go like get supplies and like sunken ships and shit and island hop, and it's horrifying because there's sharks everywhere
yeah.
and
You
they
know,
want
I
to
fuck
eat
with
you.
that. That's like the forest. That's like nowhere near as big of a mechanic, but I just don't go in the water in the forest because there's sharks in that shit.
Yeah.
I
I'm like, ain't fucking with
survived
that.
in the ocean on the in forests.
Yeah,
in
fuck
the
that.
forest.
Fuck that noise.
Because guess
Especially when
what?
the sharks can clip through the ground of your raft and just
Guess
take
what?
your legs
God,
out.
you
There's
remember,
no
you remember
cannibals.
when you, me, and Matt tried hunting the sharks?
Yeah.
On a
Yeah, I
raft.
do.
Raccoons.
Three people on
Those
a fucking
three
raft.
stooges on a raft trying to kill sharks ineffectually.
But yeah, I've been playing the new game that's coming out, Below Zero, and they have the experimental stuff out every time they pass them through, where they put in the I forget the one name of the Leviathan, but they also have the Shadow Leviathan in now.
That sounds even spookier.
Yeah.
It's really fun. You should play it.
God, not playing.
Part of the fun is the horror.
I think the horror is but I think the art style might
Oh,
help.
it's beautiful.
It might help. It might not be as scary because the game.
I've
looks
seen
a
it.
little,
It's just
Except
the
for the
concept
ghosts.
of.
It's not an actual ghost.
No, but okay, yeah.
It's like a jellyfish.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. This is why I said the sea dragon's not scary, is because I've killed many a dragon in many a games. A hammerhead ghost long thing coming from the darkness is terrifying.
Yeah, I
'cause
ain't
I haven't
fucking with that.
I haven't killed many of those. And
Just now, like in my head, I got like a mental image because I know what Subnautica looks like, and like just the idea of like free floating in the ocean and like encountering stuff like that to me is like one of the scariest things ever. Like the ocean is my horror setting. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of literally being like vulnerable on all sides of my being because I have no like
So,
I'm not
a
meant to be in that environment.
Note for every RPG we play: put you in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
looks like.
it's spooky. Yeah, fuck that.
That's
No,
the ghost Leviathan.
That looks like a goddamn alien. I'm not fucking with
We're
that.
on an alien planet.
Right. Fuck that. I'm out. As a child, I was horrified to play Super Mario 64 because of the eel.
the eel, yeah.
No. And that stuck with me for the rest of my life. I don't fuck with the ocean, man.
Dude,
I'm out.
I'm so uncomfortable with like water in video games because for a lot of first-person shooters had a terrible ocean section or
Yeah,
water section.
That water level, like Devil May
And
Cry.
here's the sea dragon.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, that's still horrifying. That's like some Cthulhu shit, but the other one's worse.
Yeah, even in Devil May Cry, the water sections unnerved me, even though you're fighting like the same enemies
Right.
and you have a Gatling
Because
spear
suddenly
gun.
it's like, I'm in first person mode, and everything could be coming at me from the top, the bottom, the left,
Eat
the
the
right.
water.
In the water.
I need to come about the water.
I- about the water.
I had an experience
I'm
like that with fucking Echo the Dolphin on Dreamcast.
Oh.
That game.
Oh yeah, we've had that
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
but the
because-
Genesis version is like so much worse.
Yeah, because like it was 3D, and there were sharks all around you. They could just come up and bite you.
Yeah.
It was horrifying.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
No, in a 3D environment,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fucked up. The Sega Genesis version of Echo always has like a special place in my heart
Jaws is a great movie.
because it just comes out of fucking nowhere.
But anyway, that's what I've been doing in my solo time, trying to get through all the new content because there's a new update coming up for that soon. In group time, I've been playing League of Legends and Risk of Rain 2.
Go play some Dota, bud.
Oh man.
Dota sucks.
Risk of Rain.
Whoa!
All right.
Heresy.
First of all, hold your tongue. Second of all, play some Dota.
If
Yeah.
you're ever playing some Risk of Rain, hit me up.
Yeah,
We're friends
because-
on Steam now.
Nerd, why are you
Yeah,
playing
no.
League when you can very easily just like play Dota with me and him?
because I enjoy League.
And Dota's better.
I don't enjoy Dota.
Let us not have this
Important.
conversation.
This is a conversation that will take up the rest of the podcast.
I mean, no, it won't because Dota's better.
Dota.
But yeah, Risk of Rain, because the new update's coming out next month with artifacts.
No, fuck you.
Fuck MOBAs.
Fuck you, you ignorant fuck. Play Dota with me.
Play Dota, fuckface. Fuckface, look at me. Dota.
I'm playing Daemon X Machina.
Look at me.
That's not Dota. It's got a D in
We
it.
could all
It's
play
named
Risk of
Dota.
Rain.
It does have a D in it.
There's
We can all
literally
play-
4 of us here.
We all own Risk of Rain.
We
too,
all own
well.
it as well.
Yeah, we do. I haven't played a Risk of Rain in fucking forever.
There's
Same.
new characters.
Yes,
I have all the
I got
characters.
it.
I have
Rex is
some of
broke
the
as
new
fuck.
moves. Who?
Rex.
Yeah, he's okay.
I got too much shit to do to play Risk of Rain, man. I got an Apex battle.
we got
You gotta
battle
get all the new
passes
moves
and-
I
and
got.
the new
There's a new
skins,
season of Dragon Ball
and
Fighters coming
artifacts
out
are
this
coming
week.
out.
I'm actually kind of interested in.
In my spare time, I've been playing Subnautica in solo and Devil May Cry, the newest one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because I gave you that shit.
Yep.
Are you enjoying it?
I got to the third boss and it crashed on me.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So I put it down. I was like,
Wait,
I'm gonna pick this up later.
DMC 5?
I'm gonna pick this up at a later date
It's
because
very,
it was
very
like,
good game, though.
I murdered the guy, cutscene, crash.
Very good game.
I was like, rip.
Keep at it. I hope that's not a consistent thing.
Yeah,
That's,
I
that's a
never-
very good game.
Did they ever do the Virgil shit?
No, that was just a rumor and it never panned out.
That's
Unless they're
unfortunate.
planning it and still haven't announced it, but I'd be shocked.
It's
'cause we're
unfortunate.
The-
A year
Have
out
you heard about the Switch version?
of DMC 3 that got
No.
co-op in
Oh yeah.
the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Since we burned through half our time, let's get to the
Tower.
news.
What the fuck
Yeah.
is wrong with me? The tower. What's it called? Help me.
Oh no! It
Hell.
deleted. It went from deleting from your brain into deleting from my brain. Dante must die. No.
It's like the Palace. Something.
Bloody Palace.
Bloody Palace. Thank
There
you.
you go. Okay.
Woo.
All right.
That was
Now,
close.
now to news. Let's talk about organic.
Let's talk about the Sony PC stuff first, because I find that very interesting. We can roll into the other leaks from there.
You're gonna have
Yeah.
to explain that.
So
one to me.
I'll explain it. So basically, first of all, I can't remember if it was I don't think it was a job posting. I believe this was just a leak. Someone had said that I can't remember what company makes Horizon Zero Dawn. Do you remember off the top of your head?
No. Doesn't matter.
Okay, well, regardless, someone had said that they are in-house working on a PC port of Horizon Zero Dawn,
Nice.
which is extremely interesting because right off the bat, that's a first-party Sony exclusive, right? That has Sony money behind it.
Yeah.
Sony never ports their shit to PC, so what the fuck's going on with that? So right away, everyone was, including me, was like, well, does that mean we're getting more Sony stuff on PC? Is this what Sony, what? Oh, my Siri.
I just saw that pop up behind you.
She heard me say PC, so what the fuck? Anyway, so everyone, including myself, was like, well, what does this mean? Does this mean we're getting Sony shit on PC from now on? And then
And then the job post.
and then the job posting happens, which is Naughty Dog has a job or had a job posting. I'm assuming it's filled at this point for someone with programming experience who can work with NVIDIA-based architecture and DX12. Why would they be looking for that when you consider that all the new consoles run on AMD shit? It makes no sense unless they were working on porting either The Last of Us or the upcoming Last of Us 2 to PC. So now everyone's like, holy fuck, Sony might be working with their first-party developers to bring their shit to PC for the upcoming future of the next console generation, which is huge news. It's fucking massive.
And we are not getting many more news because every conference Sony is going to go to, they're pulling,
Yeah, they're
pulling
pulling
out
out of. So if this is the case, we're not going to hear about it.
They're
But-
citing the coronavirus. I'm not making that up.
Wait, for real?
That's the excuse that they're using. They're like, we're not going to show up. Corona.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they backed out of like E3 before
They-
even coronavirus was a thing.
Right. But the new E3 they've also backed out of. Also,
New E3 is like a trash fire at the moment. But,
right. Also, PAX East they backed out of, and that was the citation. And everything down the line, more or less.
But anyway,
But that's not too strange because a lot of places are actually doing that. There's a lot of companies that are not going to events because of Corona.
But like he said, Sony's been doing that for a while. Like
Yeah.
What with like Sony and E3 and shit like that.
Well,
They always
E3
had
is
to do it.
dying. We're watching
but
it die.
even before we were watching E3 die, Sony's always had kind of a tumultuous relationship with E3. Like
Yes.
sometimes just not coming and shit like that.
Yep.
But anyway, that's basically the news. Is the idea that at some point in the very near future, we straight up saw a job posting that heavily hints the fact that Sony games might be getting ported to PC, and that's massive.
Cool.
Because what that says to me is that there's a potential that they may go back into their catalog and grab some like PS4 exclusives and like port them to PC just for the money. Like maybe they'll port Bloodborne or something like that.
I feel bad for anyone who's waiting for Bloodborne PC because you've had it spoiled for you. And if you
Yeah, of course, I absolutely have, but I'll still play it.
If you are one of those people that are somehow listening to this podcast and have never heard of anything Bloodborne, do not, for the love of Christ,
Everyone has, man.
look it up.
I mean, God, I'm in the podcast. I don't really know much about Bloodborne.
Good.
No, but you know the main twist
Good.
of Bloodborne. You know the whole point of Bloodborne.
Do I?
Yeah.
He probably does, but he
You
doesn't realize he
absolutely
did.
do.
But it doesn't matter, dude. Even if you
I
don't,
wrote a
Maybe you
paper
don't. You probably
on
don't.
his philosophy about Bloodborne.
You probably don't realize that it is the twist.
If I could,
But
Okay.
it is a twist.
if I could give myself select amnesia, I would
Here,
forget
hold
about
on.
Bloodborne to play it again.
Everybody who may be listening to this podcast, and if you are, I don't know why you are, and also I thank you for listening to this. But if you are,
Thank you.
And you care about Bloodborne spoilers, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your ears. Shut your ears. Mute the fucking YouTube video for the next 20 seconds as I explain to Richie the twist that he knows.
Don't.
Starting.
No,
just to
no,
Richie.
No.
No.
Because he knows
No.
it.
No.
Wait till the podcast is
Doesn't
over.
matter if he does.
But he does.
I
Well,
don't
let's
care.
say he didn't actually. I wouldn't want to spoil that.
Well,
for
He
him.
knows that-
spoiler
trust
alert,
me.
I'm not getting Bloodborne
Listen.
if it comes to
Look at
PC.
Okay, fuck him now.
Look me.
You tell
yeah,
him.
first of
It's
all,
aliens.
look me in my eyes. I know for a fact.
Oh, that I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, fuck, you didn't give me time to warn people to fucking mute the video.
You did more than
You did warn
Yeah, but I was gonna go starting now, but I didn't do that, and he just said it. Fuck it.
And that was within
Yeah,
20
it's all about,
seconds.
like,
If they
your
didn't do it,
mood,
it's their
and
fault.
It's like ultra core.
Alright, we'll stop
Yeah.
now because at this point someone may have unmuted the video. But yeah, you knew
I
that.
don't know if you're like entitled to like not hearing spoilers at this point.
You
The game's
are.
been out
I'm,
for how
I'm
many
always
years?
very
Still be
conscientious of
considerate.
The
people
game's been
not.
like out how many years?
Be
I'm very
considerate.
No,
conscientious
again,
of-
I'm not. We weren't trying to avoid spoilers because oh no, it'll ruin your experience. It's still a really good game, but that twist is like the greatest thing that
I'm
I
very-
I wish I could experience.
I
that
didn't even
multiple
know that was a
times.
twist.
I'm very exactly my point. That's
Right.
literally the point I was making, and I knew you didn't know that was the twist from the way you were looking at me as I was talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is why I did that. But yeah, that would be amazing if Bloodborne came to PC. As amongst just future Sony stuff, like whatever new God of War we're gonna get, Last of Us 2.
Well,
who
even
fuck
the old
knows?
God of
Oh,
War.
new God
The new
of
God of
War.
War.
I
Getting,
can't
Oh.
wait.
getting all that shit on PC.
Oh,
beautiful.
you're gonna want to wait. You probably don't even want it.
Why? What's wrong
Why,
with the
what?
new God
Oh,
of
okay.
War?
Yeah. Oh, we should
Yeah.
talk about that.
Let's talk about
Why?
that.
What's wrong with the new God of War?
But we shouldn't do
they
it yet.
can't fuck
Oh,
up Kratos.
God, I don't know. This is like the perfect spot to talk about.
Are we
They
done with
fucked
the
up Kratos for like 2 games and then they brought it back.
Hold on,
they
are we
could fuck it up again.
Are we
Oh,
done? Are we done with the Sony
gosh.
PC story?
Yeah.
Sony PC. My stuff might be coming to PC. End of story.
Yeah.
Let's move into this.
Speaking of Sony, still,
You know more about this than me.
God, I gotta remember. I gotta pull it back. Supposedly it was leaked out that Sony is looking at they put in new patents for a microtransaction system or something, and
McDonald's.
I wish.
the fucking the like storyboard, the images they used to like prove the patent and get it like approved was for God of War. It was for God of War 4.
They were using it as an example.
Yeah, they're using it as an
Right,
example.
yeah.
And the system is apparently the system will pop up in single player games, not multiplayer, not online games, single player games, and it will keep there's like a database. And the database tells you that like, oh, X% of players bought this boost in the microtransaction thing and had this % success against this boss.
Okay.
And there's going to be a system in place to buy things for single-player games to give you a better chance
Yeah.
Right.
at
yeah.
Basically,
beating the single-player boss.
Yeah.
it's very similar. I remember there was a patent like this, which both you listening at home and all of us in this room should take this with a grain of salt, because sometimes this shit gets patented and then they never use it.
True.
But
McDonald's.
but
If you're not sure what I'm referencing there was for the PlayStation Move, there was a thing where ads would basically interrupt your video game, where it'd be like a picture of a McDonald's burger, and it would be like, throw the pickles on the burger.
That's horrible.
Or you have to say McDonald's to continue.
That's
It was an amazing patent.
that's fucking hilarious.
And that picture is great because it's just a picture of like a burger on the screen, and the cartoon guy's arms are up like he's excited, and he's just yelling McDonald's.
But basically, this patent, I remember there was something really similar that I can't remember if it was Activision or if it was EA that tried to patent something like this within the last like few years or so. But it's very similar in the sense that, like, exactly what he's saying, like, the game's going to read, like, okay, this person had this shield in God of War.
Right.
And, like, everyone who had this shield had, like, this percentage of success rate, therefore you should have this shield. The fucked up insidious part of it is that, A, it's a single-player
You
game.
want to buy the shield?
B, what they're going to do with it, and I feel like this is a very important detail, is, like, in the loading screen before the boss, they're going to pause your game and go, hey, fucker, people had this shield, and this many people breezed through this quicker than you're about to on the fight with this boss. You should buy this, and they'll give you that option at the menu, and then you either say yes or no, and then you proceed forward. To the fight
Yeah,
with the boss.
this is why
So it's like
this is why
It's
cheat
annoying.
codes don't exist anymore.
right,
Yeah.
It's
because
because they
can't
could just
sell
sell
They
them.
can sell the
Right.
cheat
Because
codes.
Yeah.
you can't sell
That was the
cheat
thing.
codes.
There was a Mega Man. I forget if it was ISO or Android, but it was basically a Mega Man phone game. You know, phones have gotten to the point you could control like a third-person action-y platformer like a Mega Man. So it was a new game. It wasn't like a reboot of. It wasn't like a reboot of like, oh, it's Mega Man X on your phone or whatever. It was a new Mega Man game, and in the main menu was like, hey, do you want to just buy more lives? Do you want to buy some E-tanks?
That's a thing.
Do that.
Well, they've been
That's been a thing for a while.
game companies have been like delving into this like single player game microtransaction thing now, like fucking
and then it gets into the weird legal battle where
yeah,
it does
is that
cheat
is
engine
that
becomes
gambling?
stealing.
Yeah, is it gambling?
That's such an insane world to live in, where
but,
we're having that conversation.
Because we're selling lives. If you use cheat engine to get lives, are you stealing from us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you stealing?
I'm pretty sure Assassin's Creed
What a
Odyssey.
joke.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Every company that does this single-player microtransaction thing, you're all cocks.
Yeah.
Here's the
Well,
thing.
if
though.
the
Like,
microtransaction
let me
is
just
content,
finish-
it's
Let me
okay.
just finish this point. Like Assassin's
Content's
Creed
fine.
Odyssey, I think sold like XP boosts.
Yep.
For their single player
People
game.
went nuts about it.
Yeah, fucking God, there was another one that was on the tip of my tongue.
DMC5 lets you buy red orbs if
Mhm.
you want.
Yep.
I try, but here's the thing.
There was
about,
there was another one.
Here's
I
the thing
can't
about this
remember.
topic that's really important to keep in mind. Is that shit with the God of War thing, the patent kind of fucked up and a little intrusive? Yeah. But realistically, how gross is it when you take into account something like, do I want it in my game? No, not necessarily. But how gross is it when you consider that A, it doesn't really affect me if someone else buys that shit and I can just beat the game of my own accord?
Right.
And B, it also, unless the game is designed around it and making you want to buy that
Yeah.
shit, then there's
Right.
a problem. But if the game is not designed around it, then it's fine.
If you
And
get like gotcha level of, it's like, no, you need to
Right, you
pay the
need
money.
this,
There's
and
a
it'll make
wall.
it way easier.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like mobile games though, where they're like,
Right.
you can play them and not do the microtransactions, but it's a fucking grind and it sucks.
Well, hold on, here's the thing. So DMC5 is a beautiful example. I played through the entirety of DMC5, beat it completely in my own accord, never spent money on a fucking red orb. It's an option if you want it, if you're like, oh, I don't want to grind to get all of Nero's moves. I just want to buy the red orb so I unlock Nero's whole move set from minute one. You can do that if you want.
I'm
not going to do it, and I played through the whole game completely fine not doing it, but the fact that the option is there for someone else to do it, it's like,
I'll be
whatever.
honest, I really like those systems for two reasons. Is one, I get to completely ignore it and it doesn't affect my experience. And that's the important part. If it doesn't affect your a non-payer's experience, it's fine. And then people who like complain I don't have the time or the skill, yes, you should pay more money,
but then-
you inferior human.
See, my thing is though, is that like we start like
easy
we
difficulty
start
in Sekiro, scrub?
Pay me money,
You fucking
motherfucker.
screwed
Easy
up.
mode, $10.
Let's go, nerd.
Yeah, that's it.
We start.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh my God.
I'm spiteful to
Dude.
those fuckers.
We start normalizing this shit though, and then we get more and more fucking Shadow of Wars, where they make you pay for the true ending of the game.
Which is
Right.
which is precisely my point. I think the shit's gross, right? It is a little gross. But then I have to question like exactly how bad is it when it's something like DMC5 trying to sell me red orbs that I don't need.
Yeah, but like I said, like you're right in that. But then you're gonna push that to like people like fucking
People who have like gambling problems or people who
Well,
have, like,
yeah,
a
but I mean,
microtransaction.
That's
like
more for
with
the
Shadow of
licenses.
War, you have to pay to get the ending, or I believe you'd have to play like 60 hours to unlock the fucking.
No, that
ending.
shit's gross. Yeah.
Yeah,
Eh.
Well, no,
that's
no.
terrible because that is affecting your
Absolutely
gameplay
shitty.
experience.
Well, no, see, I don't mind that much because it's like kind of RPG-ish. It's open worldish. There's a lot of ways to invest your time.
Yeah, for me, it's like whatever. I'll just.
So
play
if
to get
that, like a
ending.
game like that taking 60 hours should be kind of like the standard. I think it's worse from a design perspective to be like you need to grind out to get ending. Like no, you should create clear goals to get ending.
I'd be more fine with it if it was like you must grind out to get ending, than the option to just buy your way to that ending doesn't even exist. Then it's like, all right, whatever, you designed it this way, it's intended. Whereas when you give the option for people to buy it, you obviously kind of know what you're doing. It's
Right.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll get those people.
Like
who just
don't get me
want the
wrong.
fucking
Like
ending.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. It's
I
that,
thought more what you were referencing. Sorry, not to cut you off, but
Go
I
ahead.
thought more of what you were referencing was because I haven't played Shadow of War yet. I thought more of what you
Loot
were
boxes?
talking about was like the Asura's Wrath situation, where they were like, the real ending's not in the game. Please buy our DLC.
That sucks.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
bad.
That's
true.
gross.
And I loved Zer's Wrath.
Yeah, I was
That's
I was a
gross.
big fan of that game as well.
I've heard
Beautiful.
middling things about it,
Absolutely
but I haven't played it.
beautiful game.
I could see why people didn't
Shit,
like
man.
it. I think you need to like anime and shit like that to kind of like.
oh,
it.
it's over the top as fuck.
I've
It's
heard
great.
I've heard the
very
problem.
much.
This is way off.
But
topic.
I
heard-
enjoyed Azura's Wrath immensely.
I've heard the problem with Asura's Wrath is that a lot of the time you're just playing a movie with
Yeah,
QTEs.
and it is
Oh,
like,
This is the thing.
but it is good.
Like-
again, I think you have to like anime to like it, but I enjoyed it very.
I love
much.
how that conversation like kind of died in video games, where it was like QTEs and stuff, like and blah 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 blah. Like I think the last like kind of murmurs of it was like when The Order came out for PS4, and it's the secret to QTEs is, oh well, it sucks that I'm not really playing this game. That sucks. Wait, is what's happening fucking awesome? QTEs are the best, and that's how Asura's Wrath do. Is
Yeah.
I suppose.
it's like I don't like tapping A to punch men in cutscene poorly, but I love tapping A to fucking lift up the fist of a god, like
And then punching into oblivion.
And then
to,
punching
me,
into
to me,
oblivion.
to me, the bigger problem, the bigger question is like how much of your game is QTE and how much of it can I just play?
I mean,
It would be
fucking
like-
Telltale started fucking just a whole line of QT
Right,
fucking
That's,
games.
that's a little different.
well, it's context.
Telltale games also don't charge me $60 to play their game.
Sure.
I'm sure Asura's Wrath.
I'll be
they-
honest,
they
I didn't
want-
pay $60 to play Azura's Wrath. I like
Right,
rented
you
that
didn't,
shit at
but-
the time
but-
when you could
we
rent
bought
games.
it used, beat it within
I
a
didn't
week.
buy
and
that
we
game.
rented it.
But day one,
Oh,
I bet
did
that
we?
game. I bet
Yeah.
that game was $60.
We rented it.
Nope.
Anyway, more leaks. So,
Never gonna fit this.
there
shit
were
the fuck
there
out.
were some Resident Evil 3 leaks. I was on the fortunes.
Yeah, you hit that because I don't know anything about that. But unless it's spoilers, if it's spoilers, I don't want to know.
Well, no, it's not
Because
really.
I actually have that game pre-ordered.
It's
so I don't
not.
know
It's
anything
it's not really spoilers. It's just there were murmurs of like, oh, maybe we'll have spiders and stuff, and yeah, like now images have leaked, which I'll put up in the podcast itself. Of all this cool shit, like the brain eaters or brain suckers, I can't remember their actual name.
Brain
like,
dog.
there may be a leak. There's a leak image. We don't know what the hell this is. Is it a Hunter Gamma? Is it the worm guy? What is his name? Gravedigger? Is it Gravedigger? We don't know. That's weird. Why does it have legs if it's Gravedigger? If it's a Gamma Beta, why does it look like that? I'll show you guys the pictures later. There's just
I
a
don't
bunch of
really wanna see
weird. There's just a bunch of cool stuff. It's just mostly image leaks, CG art, picture of Nemesis with the Gatling gun. Cool stuff, like stuff that's in the game, and like it looks nice. It looks
Yeah, I
beautiful.
want to know as little of this shit as possible. Because when I'm gonna play something, I just black out. I don't pay attention to leaks. I don't
No,
pay
yeah,
attention to
that's the
anything,
way. And it's not like it's.
I do the same.
it depends on for me the game. It's like if I know I'm going to buy it, I don't want to see it at all. If I'm like, then
When
yeah,
it's
I'll spoil
like
myself.
when it's like a story-based game or something I'm really interested in, I usually don't touch it. But if it's something like when like Borderlands 3 was first coming out,
Mhm.
I looked at all that shit because it's RPG. I'm just gonna be grind heavy. I wanted to know the loot. I wanted to know the guys, everything.
Yeah,
I didn't want to know the
you know,
story,
it-
but I wanted to know what everything was gonna look like because I waited so long. For the
You know,
game.
it is honestly weird to like have that discussion in the realm of remakes, where it's like we should know the story, but we don't because of how remakes do nowadays.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I think you guys have a story about a remake.
Are we gonna roll right?
If
in
we're gonna
that?
roll-
Yeah, we're gonna
All right,
roll
we wanna
right
hit
in.
the other
well,
leaks real quick.
we could bounce back to other
All right,
leaks. Let's
well-
move in and out. It's just
Well,
this
if we're
is a
gonna
good
if we're
flow.
gonna roll into remakes, I think the biggest piece of news is how much of a garbage fire that Warcraft 3 Reforged turned out to be.
First of many, so says Actibliz.
Actibliz,
I
the great
God help
company
us.
that is.
I'm gonna
Actibliz.
prefix this, but I was so hyped when they announced it. A reforged, remastered version of Warcraft 3, and BlizzCon they put out the awesome cinematics. Like, I mean, you know, they were a little buggy, but that was fine. It was development,
Right.
and they had all this promised stuff like clans and options for like UI to go between the old and the new. It was just all this stuff, and none of it got delivered. None of it. The game launched, and the cutscene that they showed at BlizzCon was not even in the game,
Oh, God.
and it was still on their site advertising it. By the way, yeah, that
Even
was.
now.
Yeah, I think now I could be wrong,
Wow.
but
Wow.
it's incredible.
Yikes.
It was absolutely incredible. And then the not only that, but apparently there was some issues with like textures. Actually, textures were downgraded from the original, which is insane.
What? From the original?
Yeah.
How?
Absolutely garbage.
I don't know how they did that. Don't ask me. I
can't comprehend that degree.
you
of
could look at
fuck up.
side by side images, and the images from the original, like the forest, look better than what there is in the game now.
Is that an artistic direction thing, or is like?
Is it like texture stretching or some shit?
It's I'd have to see the picture, and you'd have to look at it, but it looks
I'll-
better. It
Look-
looks better.
Look, fans, you can see it now.
Um,
Doing editing.
He's
Yeah.
like, wow,
Through the
doing
power of
Damn.
editing.
You,
same
you
thing
I'm
with-
had-
gonna watch this. I'm gonna click to try to find this part. And be like, did you put the fucking picture of the trees in?
Like,
Yeah, we're gonna
Sickos,
we're gonna hold you
like
to
they
this.
advertise.
They're gonna have more context than
Yeah.
we did on our own conversation.
There's
I
whole
pulled up my
videos.
pictures of the Ghost Leviathan.
There's whole
and Sea
video.
Dragon.
You could go find online. They're everywhere. Videos of like side by side comparison. It's insane. It's like night and day. And then like seriously, like the cutscene at BlizzCon was like so cool, and everyone was like, they're gonna do this to like every cutscene. Hell yeah! And then it just didn't exist anymore. It was just the same old cutscene, but like with a little bit of HD rendering to it. They reuse old cutscenes too that haven't even been remade.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, hold on. So when those cutscenes play in game, is the resolution old and fucked up, or does it? Or
No,
is
so
it
like there's the
or is it like
so, like,
up-resed?
there's a cutscene. I think it's like one of the first cutscenes of Reign of Chaos. It's literally the same exact cutscene.
Does
like-
it look like
like,
shitty?
it was-
like
it
it's
was-
from-
it
like
was-
it's literally drag and dropped from the old game.
Yeah, it's literally the same cutscene. Then when you get to the in-game cutscenes as opposed to the cinematic cutscenes,
They look normal.
the in-game cutscenes look like the old ones, but just with the new
Right,
HD
because,
and quote
because they're in
rendering.
engine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed
That makes sense.
Yeah.
like
But it's still
it's-
very lazy to literally.
It's hilarious
just
because
pull
like
the
the
old
BlizzCon
cutscene.
trailer showed it was the culling of Strathlum. So it was like Jaina, Uther, and Arthas, and they were going at it, and they were talking about it, and they were up close, and you saw their faces,
Yeah,
and they were
I've
like
seen- I've
pointing
seen
at
that.
each other, and it was like whoa, you know, the original was just them like standing there, and it was just dialogue.
Right.
And everyone's like, yeah, we're gonna get this in like all the cutscenes, and then you go to what's in the game now, and it's literally just them standing there in dialogue. There's no
Literally.
semblance of the old
Just use
cutscene.
that cutscene for promotion.
No semblance of the old
Different.
cutscene of the cutscene
If
of
they
BlizzCon.
had it, why wouldn't they at least put it in?
That I'm not even like a quarter of the way through the trash fire that this game fucking started.
Will you ever?
Yeah, this could be
Are
the.
you gonna drop it? Or
But,
are you gonna soldier on, my friend?
I'm gonna
He's
soldier
not
on
playing
this.
it.
Oh, okay.
You-
Oh no, I
buy
haven't
it.
played it, but
He's just talking. From
I'm
the
just
news.
talking. I mean, so then there's the somewhat controversial content
Somewhat?
creator.
Oh, this is
fucking
hilarious.
New
Have you heard
agreement.
about this? This is amazing.
All right, yes.
This is the best part of it.
So as we know, as we talked about
I love
already,
this shit.
Dota is amazing, and you should play Dota.
Right.
you.
But hold on, wait for
But,
a
all right.
brief history lesson for those who don't know.
Dota originated from a map in Warcraft 3,
Correct. Yeah.
Defense of the Ancients.
Game type, if you will.
There was like a big lawsuit, basically Dota won, and they created their own game.
Right.
Valve took it.
And Valve took it.
Valve signed
and
on
created
with
their
it.
own
Valve
game.
hired IceFrog and started to develop Dota,
Dota 2.
as their own
Yeah.
property, which Blizzard had no rights to.
Yeah.
But there
And
were things
Blizzard
that they had
was
to
pissed.
change.
Yeah.
Like Wind Ranger's name used to be Windrunner. They changed
Yeah,
that because
yeah.
they were going to get sued and shit like that.
So, with the release of Warcraft 3 and the new map editor in that game,
Right.
Blizzard changed their user terms and agreements to they own everything created in the content creator, and if you use their map editor to make anything, you basically waive all legal and moral rights to what you make.
It's
Wow.
so
And they have the
amazing.
right to cease and desist you from continuing on making it. Like, yeah,
So-
you have no entitlement to any compensation they get for using it.
I adore
That's
this.
amazing.
Here's
It's-
why,
they
here's
literally
why,
they own it.
Here's why I love this. Here's why I love this. I want to dig into this
They're
real
looking
quick.
for free labor, basically.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I want to dig into. No, it's not just that they're looking for free labor. It's that they're scared that they're going to get fucked again
Yep.
by
That
somebody.
too.
Because we are living in the age of not just Dota, but things like auto chess.
Auto chess now,
Blizzard is
yep.
very aware of the fact that someone can make a game type in a game that they don't own, and that it can fucking spiral out of control, and they can make millions of dollars off of it. So they are
That's
afra-
natural selection.
they
Mr.
are
Todd.
afraid of that happening again. So much so.
Mhm.
When did Warcraft 3 first come out? What year? Like 2003? What? 2003, 2004, or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
So like, they are literally like a 15-year-old Fallout is still lingering behind them, where they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my
They-
God, we
they
fucked
never-
that
they
Dota
never
shit.
got over
Oh,
Dota.
oh my God, that could be us."
they never got over Dota.
Oh
They
no!
never-
They tried with Heroes of the Storm and it didn't work.
Fucking, what's that
Yeah.
dude's name? The fucking CEO of Blizzard with the long hair that came out and gave that shit
I
apology.
don't fucking know.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but somewhere in an office right now, he has both his hands on his fucking forehead, and he's like, "We could be running the International. It could
All
be
that
us.
money could be ours.
Instead, we're stuck with Heroes of the Storm.
And it sucks.
We fucked up." Like, and it's lingering behind them so hard that 15 years later, they remade their game, and they were like, "We cannot fuck this up," as someone's like signing this fucking EULA. It's hilarious.
That's insane.
I love it. It's
Again,
the best.
not done. So with all that, obviously, people were pissed.
Mhm.
On top of like day one launch issues that not every game has, but games have it. You know, where people can't log on, they were crashing, blah
Right.
blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah,
Well, people obviously were mad at that, and they wanted refunds. They refused to refund the game to anyone. There were people.
yeah. On what grounds?
I'll tell you the grounds. It's fantastic.
Wasn't playtime?
Oh yeah, I'm getting there. There are people that had on their launcher 0 minutes of playtime because they couldn't launch the game. They wanted a refund. It was denied, so they have to put like a ticket process in, to get like a person to look at it.
Uh-huh.
Their tickets were getting denied by a person at Blizzard for too much playtime. With zero minutes.
Playtime was too
with
much playtime.
0 minutes. Yep.
Wow.
There were people who didn't know how to even do a ticket for a refund. So people on Blizzard forums were giving them, the instructions to do that. Their accounts were banned.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You know what this speaks to me of? This speaks to me of a company that was so out of touch with its own fuck up that I think they put this game out, and I legitimately believe this is obviously just me spitballing.
Uh-huh.
But I
Speculation.
legitimately believe that Blizzard is so far up their own ass, and they think that their community will just eat up anything that they do, that they knew what they were doing when they put that game out. They didn't think it was going to be like this. They didn't see, like, a week out from launch, all these articles being written,
Yeah.
these massive headlines, so much attention being put in that they were just like, "Oh, we'll launch the game. No fucking return policy. If people want their money back, we won't give it to them. No one's going to give a fuck." And 85% of the user base is just going to be like, "Oh, this game's great," even though it's a trash fire, because everyone sucks Blizzard's dick. They didn't
Specifically Warcraft 3.
They didn't realize
A lot of Warcraft
what was
3.
gonna happen
Miles.
with like all the PC Gamer articles and all the fucking YouTube videos
Well,
of people
well,
just
shit.
being like, "This is
Yeah.
a fucking dumpster fire."
Metacritic a 0.5 score. It is the lowest rated game on Metacritic.
Oh
The
my
lowest
Lord.
rated ever on Metacritic, 0.5.
Which is honestly probably a little extreme because there's some real garbage out there
Yeah.
that exists, but this is just people review bombing it because of the trash.
Yeah.
Well, understandable.
That it was.
Yeah.
It deserves
So so with all the hate, they finally came out and they're like they did their apology post, which is basically
We're sorry.
yeah, it's
No,
we're
not
sorry.
even
Yeah,
as good
it's
as that.
we're
Whoops.
sorry you didn't have the experience you wanted. Yeah, that was worded very weird.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It wasn't
Um,
even
no
as
fault
good
of our own.
Blizzard can't even apologize correctly.
And
It's
and
incredible.
well, we know that.
Well, this is the
like,
second
we know
time.
that from the Hong Kong
Yeah,
debacle.
we know the
but,
Hong
like,
Kong debacle and the don't you have phones debacle.
Yeah. They
What?
can't- they
You guys
can't-
don't have phones?
Yeah,
Mm.
Blizzard is fucking out
But,
of touch, dude. And it sucks.
Yeah, it's we're sorry you didn't get the experience you wanted. We
Whoever-
stand by our product.
Whoever are the
We're going
various
to.
community managers on Blizzard
terrible.
forums, I either you are part of the problem
Or I
and
feel
are
bad for
going
you.
to get guillotined, or you're just like
I'm
you're
deeply-
some poor schmuck
Either you have
Yeah.
nowhere else to
desperately
go.
writing
They're
on
like-
forums.
I'm
We're like,
deeply
yeah,
sorry
they're
for
like,
your
we're
job.
working to get all the features you want in that we tried to get in. It was basically them just
Which
saying
is
we
such
fucked
bullshit.
up.
They're not
Yeah.
going to do that. Warcraft
Probably
3,
not.
Warcraft
Yeah.
3 fucking Reforged is not going to look anything like what they promised. Like
And
5 months.
and
They're not going to do a
and,
fucking
and
No Man's
since
Sky
the
update.
review bombing and all the bad headlines,
Mhm.
they have since give out refunds to people who are
Right,
seeking them.
because they
But
realized
just
that,
the
like,
the fucking shitty policy of not giving refunds, it's stained the game.
It's incredible.
It's stained the company.
It's
We're-
because
yeah.
People are still talking
Because I'm
about
telling
this
you, they didn't
shit.
know this was going to be like this. They were like, we're just going to put it out. Yeah, sure, we didn't
I
promise
think
some
it's
stuff, but
I
like,
think it's just really big publishers are too busy drowning in money to like really care, and so they're like yeah whatever.
they're ignorant of the consequences of what
To
they're
be
about to do.
fair, it's been literally years of sometimes more or less the same game again, and then they get buckets of money. So it's
Well,
like,
that's exactly what I said. So this is something that I haven't touched on yet. But me and him, pointing at Richie again, doesn't play well for audio. We've been talking about this back and forth for like a few weeks now, ever since like the debacle happened, like since the last podcast.
Mhm.
And like I had said this to you multiple times that like all they had to do was promise nothing. All this had, seriously,
Yes.
all this game had to fucking be was like what
HD.
what
Just
Capcom
HD.
has done
That's
with
it.
Resident Evil 4
Yep.
3 times in the past. Go, hey, you guys like this game? Dope. We're gonna like up-res it. It's gonna work good on modern systems. We'll put, we'll make it work good with like modern PCs, modern tech, up-res everything. It's gonna look a little bit nicer, but it's basically the same game. We're not gonna promise new cutscenes. We're not gonna promise all these bullshit new features. It's the same game. It just looks nicer, and people would have bought that in fucking droves.
yeah.
They didn't have to promise all this crazy shit and then not deliver on it. They literally created their own fucking dumpster fire.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All they had to do was RE4 it.
Yeah.
Instead, I think what people were looking at because of the new cutscenes and shit, they were looking at those and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna get like the fucking RE2 remake version of our favorite strategy game," and it's like, no, that's not what you got, and they should have never promised that in the first place.
Well,
Right.
even like somewhat simple shit too, just like clans. They promised clans. There are no clans in the game.
Right.
Like they promised cross-region play. There's no cross-region play.
Like, why bother promising it?
Like,
What were they even doing this entire development cycle?
Yeah.
Why'd they promise it? Just
You're
go,
right.
no.
Oh, and
Ads
a-
and money.
yeah,
Yes.
and another thing to touch on
happy
too, if
ending.
you didn't know. So there's some weird like server or client issue that if you have the Battle.net version of Warcraft 3, the original, you can't play it anymore
Oh my
because
God.
they had to switch over all of it to the new Reforged version.
That doesn't like why. Would
So
they do
you
that?
paid money
Right.
for Warcraft 3. Congratulations! Now you have to buy Warcraft 3 Reforged, and you can't play the original.
Fuck.
That's why I still have the disc.
Yeah, this
Money
version.
stolen.
Anyway.
Quite literally.
Quite literally, yeah.
Money
Yeah.
We
stolen.
have stolen your
Take them
money.
to court, people.
And like you
Sue
said,
them.
I bet somebody will. There's probably some.
yeah, there's
lawyer out
definitely
there that's
class
like,
action.
Oh, yeah, I'll
there's
fucking-
class action lawsuits against them.
Speaking
and,
of,
like,
have you
false
heard
advertisement and all
about
that.
the Riot thing?
What happened with Riot?
You mean like the company?
I mean,
Yeah,
I know it's
I'm well,
dumpster fire.
yeah, I'm well versed in like the sexual fucking.
Right. So there's that, and what happened was they were like, yeah, we should get reparations for this type of stuff. Riot actually agreed, and all the things were set to go. I think it was like what? It was like a 10 million suit.
I don't
Or
know.
whatever the
I
price was.
don't know the money.
The plaintiffs withdrew the suit after they were guaranteed, and even the court was like, yeah, you'll get your money, and even Riot was like, yeah, you'll get your money,
And they didn't pay them.
to No, they withdrew. They're like, you don't have to pass 10 million because we just won. Now you have to pass 400 million.
What?
Riot went, we fucked up. We'll pay you the 10 million, and then they went, no, 400.
More.
They pay him?
That's currently the battle. This literally happened like yesterday.
Oh.
So
Wow.
where this is
I
going
might not
from
be able
that?
to play League soon.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
possible.
know who doesn't have that happening? Valve and Dota.
That's true.
Yeah, they
play
have
Dota.
just
Play
different
Dota, people.
problems.
Play Dota, people.
So yeah,
No
that
sexual
was,
assault allegations haven't, or harassment
No.
allegations happening
Right.
in Valve, from what we know.
For all we know.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
they're
Maybe
just better
Gabe,
at hiding
maybe
it.
Gabe and
Yeah.
slapping cheeks, and everyone's just keeping it under wraps.
they're getting ahead of
Ice
it.
Frog's going around saying, nerf that ass!
Gaben's like, you nerf Void Spirit yet? Did you nerf Void Spirit yet? No? And then he gets a little bit of a grab. You have the fucking nerf Void Spirit. Or tomorrow, I'm coming back.
Using it as a motivator.
Yeah. You better nerf that fucking Void Spirit, boy.
Nerf Void Spirit.
Does Snapfire still do like 200 damage at level 1? With one click of a button? I'm coming back tomorrow.
I'm coming for that ass.
I'm coming.
If that ain't fixed.
Hey, these are highbrow Dota jokes.
Yeah. Praise
But anyway,
gaming.
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to cut into all that money that they're spending on these tons of other games that Riot's making
right.
off their fucking League property.
Their auto chats?
Not just that, the fighting game, the first-person
Mhm.
shooter, they're
Mhm.
The
developing.
auto chess is doing fine. They don't really need to do much more to it.
They're making a fighting game that everyone's going fucking crazy about because the people who are behind it are the people who invented rollback netcode.
Mm-hmm.
Bonkers. And I don't know how much you know about the dumpster fire that is netcode right now in the fighting game community.
All I know is,
But
he
it's-
said some guy in his basement fucking
It's
did it for a game
it's
or
it's been a
something.
very intense.
Did you hear the update on that story?
Oh yeah, Street Fighter did a netcode update and it basically doesn't do anything.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it disabled the people from using that fix.
Yeah. Well, we all knew, everyone
Wow.
everyone knew that was coming because
Yeah.
it's like, well, they're not going to let that slide.
No.
All right.
Guy took a week, fixed all their problems. They took a few months and said, "No,
Wow.
you should have these problems."
Yeah. Please have these problems. Please continue to have these
Could
problems.
No reverse
Could
guard.
could you imagine putting development time to making your game worse?
to make your game shittier.
This is literally what happened.
Welcome to the fighting game division at Capcom. Capcom's nailing it in every other regard, like Devil May Cry 5, the fucking Resident Evil remake.
Not their fighting games.
Not their fighting game division. The
Nope.
fighting game division is fucking on fire currently, and there's no end in sight.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Alright, so Resident Evil 8 got leaked, supposedly. Now, normally, whenever we talk about leaks, I like to only talk about very reputable leakers, and this guy in particular is very fucking reputable. I don't have the link to the article in front of me, but he's a dude. Oh yeah, he leaked RE7 stuff before anybody knew about it. He leaked like DLC details long before anyone knew anything about them.
Okay.
He leaked like the Not a Hero DLC and shit like that before anyone knew what any of that was.
So
gonna
he's
be.
legit. Go ahead.
So he's pretty legit, and he's a dude on Twitter, and supposedly he says that Resident Evil 8 is currently in development.
Nice.
It supposedly has been in dev for like 6 to 7 months. They were actually working on it almost immediately after, not immediately after, but like late 2016 after
Okay.
RE7 had come out, and they scrapped it.
Oh wow.
Don't know why, but apparently they had like a certain amount of it done and then just scrapped all of it and picked it back up 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay.
And and then like a different leak came out, which is not from this guy. So this one should get taken with a grain of salt. But someone else leaked because that's literally all he said. He was like, yeah, it's coming.
Okay. Cool.
He also said, what was it? He also leaked the fact that Projekt Resistance was going to be RE3's multiplayer mode, which
Mhm.
turned out to be true.
Yep.
And he leaked the fact that other Capcom games are currently being remade in RE Engine. But he didn't say what.
That's interesting.
Dino
He
Crisis.
said there are things at Capcom.
I hope so.
It could
Dino
Dude,
Crisis.
it could be, well, think about it. What could it be other than Dino Crisis? It could be more Resident Evil games. It could be Dino Crisis, or it could be what? DMC games?
Onimusha.
Onimusha. If it's Onimusha, I'll fucking. Ooh,
I'm
I
gonna
will
lose
come.
my mind.
I'll come. I'll come. The second I see that trailer, when I see like RE Engine fucking Semenosuke, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, oh yeah. I would lose
I'm
my
I'm
I
making
would
a hand
lose my
motion of
mind.
jizz flying out of my crotch.
I'm just thinking of all the games that were like, what did Capcom release that was Resident Evil but wasn't Resident Evil? And the only things that come to mind, Dino Crisis and Onimusha.
Dino Crisis and Onimusha. I love Dino Crisis. Don't get me wrong, Dino Crisis is really dope. But if it's on Onimusha, I'll fucking go nuts.
Well,
I will
here's
go insane.
okay. So here's the weird thing about Dino Crisis is that the first one kind of sucked. It was great, but it
was
sucked.
convoluted and kind of shitty.
And then the second one wasn't really a horror game. It was super fun. Dino Blaster, the video game.
The second one was amazing.
Yeah.
I finished the second one as a kid,
What
which says
if-
a lot because I was bad at video games as a kid.
Yeah.
And that game was awesome.
What if it's like
So I was like reversed. I beat the first one, but I never played the
The
second
second
one.
one was so good.
second one? Well, I mean, it's a very different feeling.
But it's good.
You're not afraid of these dinosaurs.
Yeah,
You are
I-
destroying them.
I would
in
argue-
droves.
I would argue the
I
second game's better than
loved
the
the
first
horror of the first game.
Right.
Yeah.
They're very different. It is the first one is Alien. The second one is Aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty on point.
Yeah.
It's on brand. But still, I'm excited about it. Because
Yes.
especially if it's the first Dino Crisis that they're currently remaking, that's fine too, because it's gonna be
Probably. 'Cause
Which
then
it probably would.
depending how that sells, they probably go, "Oh, time to remake 2."
and they'll do it in a spooky way.
And then
Like,
remake 3.
Right. Yeah. They could fix the stupid
No one catch that?
DPRK.
I was gonna say, then you remake 3.
Oh no! Stop.
No, no one will ever remake 3.
No matter how pretty it looks and how good it is, I refuse.
So you
I
don't, want,
refuse
you don't want
this.
zombie dinos in space?
No, I'm good. I'll stick to the first one, maybe the second one, and then we can just pretend the third one never fucking happened.
Yes.
But yeah, that would be dope. The only other thing I can think of is, like you said, Onimusha or like old DMC games being remade, like just
True.
remaking
Yeah,
DMC 1.
DMC the first one, not DMC. Fuck it. God damn it. Why did naming conventions
I
suck?
doubt they would remake DMC 3 because I don't see because that's almost like saying that they'd remake.
No. What I was saying was the first one, Devil May Cry, but I said DMC, which is a different game.
right.
Well, I still say DMC even for the old ones just because it's easy
Right.
to abbreviate.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
people could get confused. If I ever say DMC, and I'm talking about the shitty reboot. I'm talking about the real ones.
That got better, but it's still shit.
Yeah, but it's still pretty shit. So, yeah, I could see them remaking Devil May Cry 1, maybe,
Right.
and bring it up to speed graphically.
So
and
more leaks.
gameplay-wise.
Mortal Kombat Collection. We were kind of talking about fighting games.
Yeah, it's there's not a ton to talk about with that, other than the fact that. Oh
That's-
wait, hold on. Let's reverse really quick. So there was a second leak
Okay. Go ahead.
about RE8. You might.
Oh,
be,
yeah, you did
might be
mention that.
interested in this only because it's Wolf for the Wolf. So this second dude
Oh.
came out and leaked details about RE8, and he says that what it's going to be. Now this is the one you should take with a grain of salt because I don't think anyone knows who this guy is.
You're a space wolf.
So he could be full of shit. But he's saying that you're going to play as the guy from RE7. You're still playing as Ethan.
Okay.
And you are going to be... It's going to start in, like, a wooded environment, and then it's going to transition into, like, a castle-y environment. The game is still going to be in first person.
Okay.
And the beginning of the game, when you're in the wooded environment, is going to have monsters that are, like... They're like BOWs, but they look like werewolves.
Neat.
They kind of look like werewolves. So imagine, like, the first-person horror of RE7, but in a wooded environment. Chased by like
Imagine a first-person werewolf game.
Yeah.
But it's Resident Evil.
But they're like genetic freak werewolf.
Right. Yeah.
Created by some kind of
Yeah.
virus or whatever.
I love.
Supposedly that's what he
BOWs. It's which is again that's so real quick touch on the RE3 leak. It's fun to see BOWs again because like Resident Evil 2 remake like didn't have all the ones that it kind of could have had, but like very barely.
I mean, it still had because most stuff is still considered a BOW, right? Like hunters and lickers and shit
Right.
like that. So
Yeah.
They had all that.
But I mean, like even like the giant spiders were BOW and
Right.
But whatever. I like BOWs, so I hope like now that they're mastering the engines, then they're like, okay, we got humans down. Let's make some fucking freaks. Could be fucking sick.
It's the same guy who leaked RE8, so same
Reputable or not?
somewhat reputable dude.
Okay.
Who's saying that Konami is currently developing who knows if it's Konami, they might be giving it to some other dev or whatever, but they're currently making 2 new Silent Hill games. One is a soft reboot, and that's literally all he said about it. He just said it's a soft reboot. The other is going to be an episodic style game, kind of like a Telltale or Until Dawn.
Okay.
So I'm assuming from that it's going to be like, if what he's saying is, if I'm to take it as literally as possible, that it's going to be like a narrative focused, like maybe no combat style, like Silent Hill.
Well, even what I could think of is like Silent Hill 4: The Room. It's not episodic. The game came out, but the way it's structured is because you're going to like this person's dream and that person's dream is I could see it going that way.
Yeah, maybe.
Where it's like each episode.
But I just mean
is
like
new.
gameplay wise. If I'm to take what he's saying at the most base level, that maybe it's going to literally be like a Telltale style, like walk here, do the conversation, everything's done via QTE, like Silent Hill style game. And then the other, which I'm a little about. And then the other one is a soft reboot. He literally gave no other details than that. So
Pachinko machine, got it.
Yeah, probably. He saw some shit like in the offices. He was like, "I'm gonna leak that. That looks really cool." But little does he know, it's 3D renderings for a pachinko machine.
Yeah, it's the first Silent Hill remade, updated graphics,
Soft
new
rebooted for
engine.
pachinko.
It's actually in the Fox engine for the pachinko.
Yeah, for the pachinko. If that, listen, Konami, if you're listening, which I know you're not, you suck my balls. But I'm willing to give you a chance on this. Make a decent Silent Hill game. Just do it. You fuck me on PT. You fuck me really hard.
Why would someone who sucks your balls be someone who...
Rob? They fuck me really hard, bro. They fuck me so hard.
What about that mobile game? You want a sequel to that mobile game, right?
Oh, no. What mobile game? You talking about Book of Memories or some shit?
Yeah.
No. Shut the fuck up. So anyway, we don't talk about that. That doesn't exist.
But you can put crazy hats on.
No. I'm not trying to kill Pyramid Head for Diablo loot. I'm not doing that. So, man, you fuck me hard. But I'm willing to give you a chance, man. Give me a fucking Metal Gear Survive, little fucked up. You know, you ain't been doing it. But maybe you still got it in you to give it to a dev that is capable and not trash, and you can make me a Silent Hill game that's okay and worth playing. I think you got it in you. I don't think it's gonna happen.
No.
But I'm willing to give you the chance. So when I see a trailer that has no gameplay in it, I will get hype. Just don't fuck me.
Oh,
Just don't fuck me.
Not
again.
Side note,
I can't take it.
When you mention Konami, you must mention Kojima.
Sure, the specter of Konami.
The specter of Konami, his ghost still
Koji.
remains. He's talking about on Twitter. So this is just him talking on Twitter. It doesn't actually mean anything. And he's constantly like, "Oh man, that guy who does mecha animations and stuff, specifically the guy who designed everything in Zone of the Enders. I should talk to him again."
Really?
Yeah. He's like, "That guy's cool. I should hang out with him more."
Okay, that's really weird.
So
In Kojima's world, that could be
anything.
a reference to a new game.
It could
Might
be.
not
It could be. I'm going to work on a new game. It could be. Here is a picture of my dinner I had.
If that is, I want to make a Robo game with this guy again. I bet we won't see that for quite some time because he's also talking about making a horror game.
Yes.
So
Unless it's a robot horror game.
That would be kind of cool.
I gotta run from Jehudi's giant penis.
Yeah.
through winding
No.
corridors.
He does the double reverse, and he makes Metal Gear Survive.
Right. He
Survive,
literally
survive.
names it MGSS. MGSS.
Yeah. So it's
But it doesn't stand for Metal Gear Survive.
it's zombie orbital frames that you have to build a fence in front of and poke with a stick.
Right, yeah. But then their dick pokes through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they
Jehudi's
poke
giant
back,
cock
they're the
pokes through
ones that poke.
Yeah, they are the one. I am the one that pokes. Me.
Okay. So that's that.
And then Anubis shows up and he pokes you real hard.
I just wanted to, like we mentioned Mortal Kombat collection, I just want to mention one thing about that.
Yeah.
That's going to be an amazing collection that has a lot of bad games.
Yeah, it does.
Like an
That's
insane
pretty
amount.
much the end of the story.
Like the
That's
second you were like, they're going to do the 3D ones, and I was like, oh, so they're going to kill
they're bad.
themselves.
Yeah, they're bad. But some people might have more fun with them than MK11.
Oh!
Boom.
That's a zinger.
Bam. Wow.
It's a bit of a zinger right there. I zinged him.
You zinged them.
I zinged him and I zinged him.
They're feeling that.
MK11 is not trash. I'm just
Just
not
like,
a
don't
huge
you
fan.
like MK11?
I like it. It's not as good as MKX. There's a reason why I don't play it anymore.
Borderlands DLC.
I would get more into that,
Yes,
but
there's a
we're rushing
Borderlands
in here.
DLC
So.
coming out that is going to be released in about a week with the official announcement, but leaks have come out. It's going to be set on Asteroid Planet with a cult led by one of the Vault Hunters. Rumors are speculated that it's either going to be Krieg, everyone's favorite psycho killer, or Axton, everyone's least favorite character from Borderlands 2, the Commando.
Boy, was he milquetoast.
Yes, he was.
Wow, I had to remind myself who you were even talking about.
The Commando.
I know.
I
And you
played-
said his class, and I was like, yep, that
I
guy.
played Borderlands 2 as Axton because I really liked Roland. I like being support tough man who
Yeah.
could like heal himself, and Axton doesn't even really do that. So it's like I didn't like Borderlands 2, And then like years later, someone was like, "Hey, you want to play Borderlands 2 with me?" And I was like, "Okay, sure. Let me try 0." And then I was like, "Oh, this game's amazing."
You just didn't
I
like the
played-
person.
I played a terrible
all
character.
the way through, and I would love to see Krieg because originally he was in the game. They cut him, and now they're gonna put him in the DLC, supposedly. But people are speculating that it's going to be like he's gonna have his own planet, like a huge DLC.
Yeah.
Because he's a really big part of Maya.
Right.
Who, spoiler alert, had unfortunate events happen to her in 3.
That could be anything.
What if I was gonna play 3?
Well, I mean, you already knew she had a child. Depending on your definitions, that's a horrible event.
I didn't know that.
What? How did you not?
I haven't played 3. I haven't paid any attention.
She
to
was
3, and I
in
didn't
like the
finish 2.
first trailer they showed the kid.
I don't watch
That
trailers
kid
of
is
anything
fucking
when I'm like
trash.
gonna play it or whatever,
Well, okay,
so I don't pay attention to that.
but it's literally the first trailer. So you
don't
just
remember
heard that Borderlands 3 was like a thing. You never watched a trailer?
Maybe I skipped the first trailer and I watched
Possible.
another one. I
Possible.
don't know, but I didn't know that.
Those
Sorry,
Did they ever-
ones on
I
TV were
apologize.
about the Calypso twins.
I
Did they ever,
apologize. I was doing a joke, and I may have spoiled something.
Fuck you, you're just as bad as Konami. Did they?
No, I'm not.
Did they ever? Whatever happened canonically to the DLC chick from 2 with the robot?
No idea.
Gage?
The Necromancer.
She's still alive somewhere.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Cool.
Was she in the games?
Yes.
No.
Well, she was in the game in 2. In 3,
Well, what I mean,
there's an
3.
echo device
Okay.
about her because she's wanted by a very rich family, and he's like, I'm going to find that murderous psychopath who murdered my daughter. She's still out there.
Okay.
What if she has a cult of robots?
There
Robot
is
cult.
that thought, but
Yeah, I
everyone-
was gonna say that, like, I mean, I
Everyone-
could see Krieg doing it, but also like
The
the
crazy
Commando. That
Necromancer
sounds
chick?
weird, seeing as there's someone who's a Mechromancer. That sounds like prime for like cult activity.
that
They
makes a little
have
more sense.
they say they're once again it's all rumors.
It's all of them.
It's all
They've merged into one
They
character.
formed the Giga Cult.
but
Welcome to the Giga
if
Cult.
Axton is the leader, it's possible we'll see Gage because the last time we ever saw Axton or Gage was them working together to get Aurelia from the precinct.
I mean, I'll be honest. The only Borderlands I ever played to like completion was 3.
Oh wow.
So
I never
Axton and
played
Gage are kind of connected slightly, but they could have separated.
Who knows?
Kind of like Maya and Krieg.
Right. Other leaks. KotOR.
Oh man, I fucking wish we had more time.
We should just cut it and
Can
pick
we-
it up.
Maybe we just talk about KotOR
We
next
could
week.
talk.
Maybe.
Why
Okay,
can't we talk
okay.
about KotOR? Why
Yeah,
not?
but it's just it's a lot. There's a
Well,
lot
then
to
let's
talk about.
let's just mention things that we were planning on talk about, and you will now hear about it next week because.
Well, no, I gotta talk about Evo now. We
Right.
gotta talk about Evo.
Well, that's what we're listing shit real quick, and then we can talk about evil.
Okay.
Evo.
Evil.
Evo.
All right.
Evo.
Dissidia Final Fantasy's Kill. They were working on a sequel, and
Well, we don't have to go into detail. Just tell
it's
them.
not detail. It's they're working on a sequel, and then they were like, no, we're not. And then they were like, well, you're gonna release characters, then more for it, and they were like, no, we're not.
Does Square develop Dissidia in house?
I believe so.
It's really interesting.
They
They gotta siphon that money to FF7 remake.
DOA, more season passes, more $80, more anime titties.
Hell yeah.
Bounce, bounce.
Tiger Handheld is being remade. Why? RPG stuff. Dishonored, made by the guys who made Fallout. Matt Mercer exists.
That's a true statement.
It is a very true
Yeah,
statement.
yeah.
Is
exists.
releasing things. Bioware and ex-Bioware employees also in talks to develop a something. TV. J.J. Abrams is doing stuff.
It's gonna suck.
Castlevania, 3rd season. Witcher, TV show came out. Witcher sales go so crazy they are now spitting distance of Ubisoft.
That's literally it, though. We don't need to save that for next week because you just said it all.
You literally just.
Even better.
Okay. Well, this will not be talked about next week then.
Well, it may be. Who knows?
Some of it might be.
Goku. There's more of him.
Damn
He
it.
He broke through his
We
power.
will talk.
man.
We will talk
I'm waiting
about
for
him.
like a month to complain about fucking Goku.
Well, then you could wait another damn
Yeah,
week.
fucking
Le-
fuck it. Fuck
Leroy
me.
Smith.
I'm being cocked.
Is strong? Is that what you were going with it? I don't
It's
know.
so
You wanted
funny.
to
It's
talk
such a funny story.
Say it real quick.
Evo Top 8 had 6 Leroys in it.
Nice. We'll talk about that
6
more.
fucking Leroys.
Other
It's
Evo
insanity.
other Evo shit. Fuck you, Melee. Marvel vs. Capcom
No,
2
that's the one I need.
forever.
That's what I want to talk about.
Do
That's
it.
where we're
Do
gonna
it.
stop, and we're actually gonna
Do
talk
it.
about it. So
Let's
Evo
go.
Evo lineup got announced. This is a topic that's being discussed. Evo lineup got announced. It's bonkers. There's some shit in it that's pretty typical, right?
Right.
Like I believe SF5 is still in there.
Yep, of course.
Uni, I think, is still in there.
Yep. Got
What
your
else?
Anime fighters got your pokes.
Was Sam Show main stage this year? I can't remember.
I don't think Sam Show was main.
I think
it was
I literally
there.
I think I have the article like right here.
Yeah, get that up
Let me
because
just
I
pull
don't.
it up really quick. Yeah.
Me and Brandon are the ones that care about fighting games.
Street Fighter, Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Fighters, Sam Show, and Soul Calibur 6. So,
So Sam Show was made?
huh?
Sam Show was made?
Apparently, according
Nice.
to this.
Nice. That's good.
Okay, so here's the
Good
full
for
list of
Sam
official
Show.
tournament games appearing at EVO 2020. I don't know if these are main stage. I assume they are. Dragon Ball Fighters, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Samurai Showdown, Soul Calibur 6, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Tekken 7, and Under Night.
Okay.
So that's all pretty typical because like Fighters has been getting updated. Grand Blue's new hotness. People like Sam Show. Soul Calibur
Sam
6
Show
is,
recently got the anime titties.
it did. Soul Calibur 6 is Soul Calibur 6. I'm glad that's still getting
Yeah.
hype and,
Yeah.
and content.
Yeah, because
Um,
its content has now started to drip. It's gotten slow.
Yeah, but they just got Haomaru
Right.
from Sam Show, so like characters are coming
Right.
to Soul Calibur
Right.
still.
Right.
I
It's
think
just slowed down.
I think there's like what
That's
two or three more characters in the current season pass.
Yes.
For Soul Cal, so that's dope. Smash, of course, Smash is going to be there. Tekken 7, not surprising. Under Night, not surprising. Here's the part that is surprising. 2 parts that are extremely surprising because for some reason it's not on this list, and I know why it's not on this list because technically, even though I think it's going to be main stage, it's not. I'm not sure if it's a full tournament, but it does have it has qualifiers,
Mhm.
but there's only going to be a top 8 that's streamed.
Okay.
I
okay.
think. Marvel 2.
Hell yes.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
It's back. The Mango Sweat Sentinels. The Pringles. We're here.
What the fuck is going on? Really? Like, what's going on? What year am I living in?
The current
Am I gonna see Jay Wong up on stage with like a storm team playing
might.
fucking Marvel 2?
You might.
Holy shit. What is happening, Anthony?
How does that even disseminate? Because it's
I don't know.
those guys aren't like. I mean, there's still Marvel 2 tournaments. There's people who think like Marvel 2 is the best. I think it's the best. Even though I suck at it. And
Yeah, a lot of people suck at it. I suck at it too. But
but it's like, you know, most of those people like are not still in practice. How did they even get enough people to make a top
I mean,
8?
obviously,
to fucking...
listen, obviously the people putting the tinfoil hats on that are like, oh, Marvel 2's at fucking EVO. Maybe this means something's going to happen with Marvel in the near
Right.
future. Like, and who knows? Maybe that's the case. Maybe Capcom's trying to plug the good one.
Well,
and-
have you
and
heard?
not get Infinite
Well, did you hear
on
about
main
the
stage.
whole Marvel versus with the DM with V's voice actor?
No.
So
Please explain.
V's voice actor from Devil May Cry 5 was like, it's the new fucking Marvel versus game looks sick, and everyone was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he was like, "No, I was talking about how sick would it be for there to be a new Marvel versus game."
Fuck you. Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
and it was V's voice actor.
I'm very excited.
And a week before that, Dante's voice actor was on a podcast,
Stop.
and he was like,
Stop.
"I'm really excited for it because
Bro.
if someone's gonna be in it, it's gonna be Dante."
Bro. If V's voice actor was V's voice actor. V's voice actor wasn't also Virgil's, was it?
Nope.
5? That means V might be in it. If a new Marvel game's coming, will we get V with a moveset based around his
Who
the
the
demons?
fuck knows?
Oh my god. I'm putting the tinfoil hat on there. I'm in there. I'm one of them now.
Because he legit came out and apologized for that tweet. He was like, "That is not a leak. I'm not trying to spoil anything." But it is also very possible someone came out and was like,
please don't, please delete that
motherfucker,
tweet.
you can't, yeah.
Delete that tweet right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, there's been talks for like years now. Is it F-Champ? It might be F-Champ. I think it's F-Champ. He's the pro, well-known Marvel player. I believe he also plays Street Fighter, who has always kind of had inside information regarding stuff going on at Capcom. And for a long time now, he's been like hinting at stuff.
Yes.
Like he's had tweets where he's like I remember he did a tweet like a year or two back, like post Infinite obviously, where he was like my favorite teams of all time in Marvel games, and then he listed them and made it to one past Infinite and was like, haha, this, and Magneto. And he was like, whoops.
Right.
Like possibly hinting at the fact that like a new Marvel game's in the works that has Magneto in it.
Mhm.
And obviously everyone went fucking crazy. Maybe he wasn't wrong.
No.
Maybe he wasn't fucking around, dude.
Right.
Maybe any day now.
You
Maybe
are-
Evo this year. When is it? July or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, that would be the time to announce it. If Capcom's gonna fucking announce a major fighting game announcement, Evo 2020.
And even Guilty Gear, it's been amazingly silent. Next month is going to be like the next maybe character reveal.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, my brain's on Marvel right now, dude.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited for Strive, but like you just blew my fucking mind.
Right.
That's incredible. Especially if V's in it. Like, what a character to add. I've always been like Nero should be in there because like
Nero's cool, and he has
fuck.
fun
What's the name
things.
of Nero's sword? Help.
Red Queen.
Yeah, thank you. Like that as a mechanic in a fighting game would be so cool.
Yeah.
Like imagine having the rev mechanic in a Marvel game.
Not only that, like a character that is built around just hits.
Yes.
Where it's like if you do the combo, you do the combo, but if you just hit it, you're also revving Red
Yeah.
Queen.
That would be fucking amazing.
It's easy. It's
And
already
I've
built in.
always said
essentially.
Nero should be in there, or like Lady should be in as like an annoying zoner or something like that. But
Right.
V is awesome too.
Yeah.
Like thinking about V in a Marvel game.
So yeah, out of nowhere, there's been this constant level of drip. It has been a long time since Infinite, and now fucking 2 is on stage on Evo.
I'm going fucking nuts, dude. It's incredible.
You're incredibly excited.
Because I want like a new fucking Marvel game. I don't want it to be a dead series. I would like a new one that's good and has like awesome characters in it, and we could see like V in the fucking game, or like Leon, or like any of these awesome fucking characters. Like fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Why do you want to see him fuck?
Why
Well, I
don't
can
you?
go to places on the internet to find that. I don't need
That's
Marvel
easy.
for that.
Yeah. It's very easy to see Leon fuck.
Anyway, so I went off on a bit of a tangent there because I got really excited about that Marvel news. But another really interesting tidbit about Evo that I don't know if anybody at the table caught is the fact that Marvel 2 has a tournament. All these other games have tournaments. MK11 does not. 0 Evo representation.
I didn't think about that. Wow.
Yes. Really strange.
What's that even mean?
No one knows. It's either the people running Evo are like, we don't like MK11 and we think Arxis is down, so here's Grand Blue and Fighters.
Is Injustice there?
But Injustice
Wow.
2's old.
Right, but I mean, it was still getting some play. I think the last one, wasn't it?
I don't think Injustice 2 was main stage last year.
Well, no, not main.
MK11 was main. Well, there's always side tournaments. There's probably
Right.
gonna be a fucking KI side tournament. There's always side tournaments. But like, yeah, MK11 was main stage last year. So the fact that it's not main stage now is shocking.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of speculation about that, and people are like, either it's because. If you want to get real, like we can sit here and talk shit and be like, oh, Evo organizers don't like MK11.
Right.
That's probably not it. What it probably is it's probably WB pulling it out because they want to do their own event. People are speculating that like NRS and WB might host their own big tournament that's like just NRS games at some point, and they're putting all their eggs in that basket
Okay.
and pulling out of Evo, which in my opinion is a fucking mistake. I think MK11 should be at Evo,
Right.
but as much as I don't like MK11 in comparison to MKX, the game should be at fucking Evo.
Yeah.
And the fact that it has 0 main stage representation is like a mistake. It's like the most viewed fighting game tournament all fucking year. Put it on stage. Why are you not putting it on stage?
You know what I'm thinking this entire conversation? When did you and me become like this?
What?
When did we get like crazy into fighting games?
I've been playing fighting games my whole life, but I didn't get
Right.
crazy into it until Skullgirls.
Yeah.
Which was like 2013.
Yeah.
I just never can get into them like you guys can.
You just gotta put the time in, dude.
They're just not my games.
It's not
I mean, I
hard.
like them, but
Man,
I just
I
can't
don't
get into them.
It's not
I
hard.
don't even like put that much time into it, but for whatever, like, I'm just trying to, like, right now I'm trying to recreate in my own brain, was like, when did I care what was on Evo main stage? Like, it's...
Probably around the time, like, you started playing, because I remember Skullgirls was the thing, because we used to go to Sean's house and I'll sit around his computer and play Skullgirls.
Right.
And that's what got me real into it, because I went home, bought Skullgirls, like, that night.
Mhm.
I started practicing it, and taking them, like, seriously, not just, like, playing them casually.
Right.
And then, Guilty Gear came out.
Yeah, Guilty Gear,
Like,
I think, was
Exert
it for me.
Sign
Yeah.
was, like, a big one, I know, for you.
Yeah.
For me, I had to wait for that.
Mm.
But I was playing, like, Skullgirls and all that shit.
And then somehow via
And
osmosis...
KI was huge for me.
Somehow via osmosis, like, you and me, like, I mean, we watched all the... we've been, like, kind of connected at the hip to, like, Evo memes and fighting game community memes where
Who
like,
bitch this is?
who bitch this is, that's banned already, that's banned already, you know, like, shit like that we've just seen.
Who bitch this is?
Okay, so that's the podcast.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. We will talk more with you guys next week about half the stuff that we couldn't talk about, and who knows? I mean, last week was pretty crazy with news. Who knows what will be coming out after?
Last month.
Capcom, give me Marvel, please. Give me it.
Hopefully everything will work and we won't go on another like month hiatus.
Well, it looks like it's working, so I think we're all right.
Give me Marvel, Capcom.
Little you know, none of this recorded.
I'm watching it. It is recording.
When's Marvel?
Marvel, baby!
When's Marvel, baby?
All right. I
Have
love
a good
you.
one,
Just
everyone.
hold on, real quick. Just because I said I would do it, and I want to do it.
This motherfucker.
It's for all the 4 people that watch our videos.
This
I'd like,
do-good son of a bitch extending
yes,
this podcast.
this is
for
a
good
do-good
cause.
son of a bitch that I do want to do a shout out. I don't know if any one of our 4 viewers
Hey, it's got to be more than 4.
plays
tell me it's
a
more than 4.
game called The Isle. It's
Comment
a
if it's more
dino
than 4.
survival game that's still in early access, and I'm a big supporter of it. But one of their lead developers, Fozer, he's been fighting brain cancer, and I just would like to take this opportunity to shout out to just I'll get a link in the description.
Yeah, you will.
They started a
I'll have
GoFundMe
pictures of
page.
him.
They're working with a few organizations, you know, help cover the costs. And I think like 3 days ago they started the GoFundMe page. They raised like $22,000. It's been incredible. The community's really come together at it. So if you can, just check it out. If you can give, that's amazing. Just give whatever you can give. And just thank you for the support. And hashtag Team Fozer, hashtag fuck cancer.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. Hashtag fuck cancer.
Hashtag fuck cancer.
Fuck
Well,
it raw.
the
Rip
the camels are pulling for you, Fozer. So hang in there.
I mean, I don't know who you are, and I didn't know about the story until yesterday.
He's the
so-
guy who would hit the Jeep box and go A.
Oh, right, that guy.
Yeah.
I loved you on TV, but God, what show was he in? Help me.
Good,
Uh,
good time.
Yeah,
Good
no,
Times,
I loved
yeah.
you in Good Times.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about you until yesterday. I don't play your game, but cancer sucks. So yeah,
Yeah.
to some extent,
Beat
I
the
am
shit
in
out of
fact
it.
pulling for you.
Yeah.
Because that's
You
not
do
great.
it, man.
You had something you wanted to mention. You thought it was over though. Say it anyway.
For the people who don't know, or once again, fact check me, please.
I'd shake my head at him. Go ahead.
The people listening to this, with the new Matt Mercer Blood Hunter that came out in 2020, you can find it on Dungeon. Some dungeon. I can't remember off the top.
Something Dungeon.
Some dungeon.
Somethundungeon.com.
Just
What a
Google
great
dungeons.
website.
Just type
You'll
in
get-
Blood Hunter 2020.
What a
You'll
fantastic
find it
website.
real easy.
Google Dungeons and Blood.
Is
You'll
it?
find
Hey, I have a
many
question
things.
about this Blood Hunter thing.
Yeah.
Is it a class?
Yes.
A full class?
Yes.
Does it suck my ass like Gunslinger does?
Not really. I
Yeah,
actually
that's
like
cool.
the changes. It's
Cool
in
beans.
base class.
Hey, man, Mercer, fix Gunslinger, you fuck.
But anyway.
A boycott critical
Anyway,
role until
Matt
you fucking...
Mercer released this. It's a new update. Not official, but for people who run it in their house.
I love you, Matt Mercer, by the way. I'm sorry I
all
called
of the
you
proceeds were
fuck.
going to charity for the relief for all, I believe, the fires in Australia and everything.
Okay.
And
You said all, so I was like autism,
Took me a
because
second,
D&D creates autism. It doesn't
but,
fight it.
It was originally $8, and all the proceeds were going there. Now it's pay what you want. I believe the proceeds are still going to that charity for relief. If you're
Now you
feeling,
can pay $0.
if you are feeling charitable, please do. And otherwise, that's all I really got to shout out to.
So see, we have a heart. Okay, goodbye.
Give
Pay
me
us
Marvel.
money.
Give me Marvel.
Pay us money.
Marvel.
Also donate to us.
It's Marvel, baby.
Marvel. Help.
Help!